it's when you take your time rather than just, get that quick fix. Which
Yeah, you're not trying to have
more unhealthy than just, like if you need your fix all the time, that's not very healthy. I do agree that's not very healthy. But if you're like, I haven't had time for a while and now I just sit down for like, if sometimes 2 to 3 to 4 hour session, then I don't see anything wrong with that.
You think that going for a long session of masturbation is somehow wrong, then I would have to ask, then why do you believe binging a show on Netflix is okay? It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
You're spending a long period of time just consuming content. Just because this one content and form is porn doesn't make it any less, valued or enjoyable for the person.
Explore yourself and figure out what it is that you like, and how are you going to teach someone else what you like if you don't even know, if you don't take time to do it yourself. So I think there's a huge difference between seeing gooning as an addiction and seeing it as something that you're doing to pleasure yourself. I don't think there's anything wrong with pleasing yourself.
I'm sorry, I've derailed the stream already.
Johnny, I swear to God.
All of it?
Okay.
I'm going to do the whole thing again?
One second. There we go.
Thank you, Johnny. Welcome into this episode of This Podcast. I'm your host, Atramentum _X, Fry streamer and LewdTuber. This is episode 43, Non-Stop Nut. Keeping people engaged with their content. It is the No Nut November episode. With me, as always, is my co-host, Lady Mystique. Say hi, Mystique.
Hello, everybody. I'm still here. I am just small today.
Mystique is small today. Mystique has a background in sexology and is our beloved co-host on the show.
Yeah.
We're going to do introductions for our lovely panelists joining us tonight, starting with Johnny Jellyjaw.
Johnny, you take it out.
I'm learning so
take
much.
Take it out now.
Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Hi, everybody. My name is Johnny Jellyjaw. I am a LewdTuber, gooner, an all-around mess. I like to consider myself a sex worker. I make porn and other fun stuff for people, and I do art as well. And I'm also a nerd and stuff. That's it. Move on.
Johnny is a LewdTuber. Johnny streams on the Fansly and is very creative with his content.
So creative.
Better to showcase their creativity and also talk about their gooner lifestyle. No offense, buddy.
But no, wait, I'm not offended. I'm the GoonerGoo. I wear it fucking on my sleeve.
Next up, we've got Sif Avalana, aka LewdSquirrelSif.
Hello, everyone. I'm LewdSquirrelSif. I stream on Twitch and another site, and I do lewd content. I do a lot of different stuff like ERP. I do gaming content. I also like to post art and also some RL stuff, but not lewd. Actually, not very lewd.
Also, we can say Fansly and like Pornhub and stuff.
Yeah, we learned that you're allowed to say it. You just can't. Exactly what the rules are still.
You can say
talk
it.
about it in an educational context. You can't be like, I'm just jorking my peanuts on Fansly right now or something.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, but just saying the word doesn't get you banned or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so used to not doing it since I've been banned twice on Twitch before, so I'm very careful. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we're on Atra's channel now, so it's okay. You don't have to worry.
No. Like, my first ban was on the 1st of November in 2021.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Oh.
Thank
you.
So yeah.
Too powerful for Twitch.
That's me.
Honestly, 2 bans in like 3 years, that's not bad compared to some of the other people racking them up.
Yeah.
Those are rookie numbers. You got to get them up, okay? You got to be way more toxic, okay? Like,
Oh, no.
The second time was a DMCA ban from friends.
Oh my god.
Crazy. It is sure.
Tonight's stream, by the way, brought to you by Season 2 of Arcane, showing you full episodes on stream right now.
What is arcane. Everyone keeps talking about it.
You don't know what? Oh my god. Okay,
It's a
going to.
legal thing.
But to be fair,
Atcha
you
doesn't
don't
watch.
seem like a toxic League player, so it's
To
understandable.
be fair,
No,
yeah,
I've
but like
only-
neither am I. I don't like League, but it's so good. The animation
I've only
is
played
beautiful.
it for buttplug.io. That was my
Atcha
first
Oh,
doesn't
I've
Yeah,
also
watch.
done that. I've also done that.
Atcha
Very
doesn't
fun.
watch stuff. Like sometimes I make him sit down and watch things with
I-
me.
Oh,
I may have to sit down and force you to watch that there, Atra, okay?
that's
like,
really, really
fair
good.
it's really
Before we
good.
get too far down the line, I do want to give Reverie a chance to introduce
Yeah,
herself.
poor
So-
Reverie.
sorry. 1 sec. I'll be good. I'll be good.
Goddess Reverie, please give us a little introduction about yourself.
Hi everybody, I am GoddessReverie. I create soft dom or dental dom content, mostly on Chatterbait and Fansly. I do have some content on Pornhub and other platforms, but mostly those two platforms are the ones that I use. I am mostly a content creator. I really don't do a lot of things. I'm just now getting to Twitch. I think I just got affiliate maybe a month ago. So I mostly create lewd content, ASMR content, really soft, squishy, cuddly, mommy content, basically.
Thank you very much, Reverie. Reverie is relatively new on the scene, but has quickly grown and is a finalist for Best LewdTuber of the Year, by the way. So, an absolute delight
Congrats.
to have you on,
Oh
Reverie.
my god,
Thank
congrats!
you. Along with you, Atra.
Yeah. You know, I didn't even notice you two had gag balls on until I saw dripping off like stuff. I'm like, what is that?
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna kill them.
I've screenshotted it already. Like that's the episode art.
That is the episode. All right. Well, typically, so a couple ground rules chat. Like, if you want to ask any questions about content, gooning, No Nut November, etc., you can ask them in chat. You can also use that link up top that got pinned for Marshmallow. You can submit it anonymously, and it's completely anonymous, no emails, no nothing. It's all, you know, if you want to get us to answer something for you. Otherwise, we do have some prepared questions, and usually I start with softballs, but I'm gonna go in hot today because I think you guys are ready for it.
Oh god.
Oh, we're totally.
Hence
we're
the
ready.
ball gags.
Like we've done a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of
exactly. We're
foreplay
hot.
already.
We're ready.
So here's
Let's
the
go.
question. Gooning typically has a very negative implication in the online sex work space, implying an addiction to porn or lewd content. What do you say to people that think this way about lewd content?
Those people probably aren't watching that much porn anyway, so you know, fuck them. For me, sorry, I don't want to. I talk a lot, as you probably all realize by now. So if anyone wants to go
What?
first, go first.
No.
Oh no, it's okay. It's good. I'm ready to hear you talk about how much you goon.
Okay,
Yeah.
so listen.
Yeah.
Okay, so is gooning like that a bit? Yeah, but listen, we've all probably spent like at least a Saturday jerking it. You know, like when people imagine gooning, they think, oh, you're someone who literally does nothing all day except jerk off, and like maybe they are, but like for the most part, though, it's more just. For me, what I feel gooning is that it's more. You're just really getting into like your porn, like that long form, or you're just looking for that perfect image to nut to. That's at least how I started, like going for like long periods of like edging and everything. And I really talk about this. I forget what the rules are. If I go
Oh,
too
you forgot what to
No, I
talk
think that
about?
was all
Like,
fine. Yeah.
I think it was
Okay,
fine.
okay. Sorry, I worry because I'm like, wait, we're not in Fansly. Fuck. Okay, what are the rules? Okay, sorry. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I kind of agree with you on that. Like, it's when you take your time rather than just, you know, get that quick fix. Which
Yeah,
I
you're not
think
trying to
is
have a
more unhealthy than just, you know, like if you need your fix all the time, that's not very healthy. I do agree that's not very healthy. But if you're like, I haven't had time for a while, and now I just sit down for like, if sometimes 2 to 3 to 4 hour session, then I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, I agree because, like, listen, like for example, if you think doing a long session of master, can I say that word? I'm just
Yes.
gonna go with it. If I go too
Masturbation,
far,
yeah.
tell me to shut up.
Yes.
Masturbate.
This is
Okay, if I go too far, just say shut up, Johnny. Okay.
I'll give you a
So
safe word. Safe word's banana. Okay.
okay, got it. Okay, thank you. That'll make me feel uncomfortable. But here's the thing: if you think that going for a long session of masturbation is somehow wrong, then I would have to ask: then why do you believe binging a show on Netflix is okay? It's
Yeah.
basically the same thing.
Yeah.
You're spending a long period of time just consuming content. Just because this one content and form is porn doesn't make it any like less, valued or enjoyable for the person. If you're enjoying it and it's helping you clear your head and, do stuff like that, like, not to get too political, but recent event occurred and I decided, you know what, I need a day to just spend for me. And I spent
Yeah.
that day just absorbing porn and other things that I don't need to go into detail about. But you know what?
It's a
Did
I
you
felt
self-gratification
Did you
thing.
see that Pornhub released like their data from like the day?
Yeah.
And it showed
I
that
didn't see that.
people were like really into it right before, and then of course the day after they were really, also into it. Took a day.
Really?
Also, one of
Take
the
a
top
day to
top
take a day off.
searches across the US is dick girls. So,
Yeah, no, like if you need, like, it's a way to clear the head and like, it's like binging on junk food or binging a show or anything else like that. It may not be healthy to do all the time, but if you're in a mode like I'm anxious or I'm stressed or I'm just, I just want to take a day for me, I think it's a perfectly valid way to spend your time. I don't think there's anything truly wrong. In fact, I would think in the right doses, it is healthy.
I think there's a difference between being addicted to something and enjoying yourself. And I don't think there's anything wrong with taking time to enjoy yourself, to explore the things that you enjoy, whether it's in porn or whether you're, I don't know, exploring your body and figuring out what you like and all of these other things. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. In fact, I encourage that, especially in my community where, explore yourself and figure out what it is that you like and how are you going to teach someone else what you like if you don't even know, if you don't take time to do it yourself. So I think there's a huge difference between seeing gooning as an addiction and seeing it as something that you're doing to pleasure yourself. I don't think there's anything wrong with pleasing yourself.
I would also say the word gooning. Personally, I don't use, like, I would also say it's a word that has been taken by the internet. And you say it has a negative connotation. I don't know if I would say negative. I just think a lot of people can't really take it seriously either. So, to be fair, I also use it kind of jokingly a lot, more than as a serious term, because I do think, like, if you want to talk about it, the actual term is edging.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That is.
It's a heavily memed word for sure. It's not something that I use in my own vocabulary. I think the first time I've ever really used it, yesterday we had an event that we called in Discord a gooning event, and it was all of us. We like got into a private VC, and everybody who's age verified could like go and like jerk off or whatever and have a good time with everyone else. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it was like the first time I ever really used the term gooning because, everybody was like, we're going to have a goon session together. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I definitely like Chad agrees that it's like heavily taken out of context on the internet and turned into a meme term. I definitely agree with that. Right, Chad?
But to be fair, I do think it has helped making people aware that there is something called etching. Because that is like, like it's popularized edging, I think. Which, to be fair, is a good thing. Like people getting aware of this kind of like, this is a new way you can try and pleasure yourself.
Yeah, in a very fun way at that. And like, to be fair, I do use the word a lot in my content and vocabulary, but to be fair, in my content, I often lean into certain words or stuff that have negative connotations, partially as a way to reclaim them, but also kind of to lean a bit into the risque edginess a bit, because like, I tend to focus on more kinky as edgy sexual content. Not super edgy, but like, I would say a few degrees more past what the norm is. But
definitely on the harder kink side, I'd say.
Yeah. There are people who are harder, believe me. I've seen them. But like I would definitely say I lean towards that. So I do use the word a lot. But for me, though, it's just that. It's just, let's have a session like, to goon together, what I do with my friends stuff, where we just watch porn and, hang out and chat and laugh and that's, have pleasure ourselves. And that's okay. That's fun. It's like jerking it with your homies.
Yeah.
If you can't jerk it with your homies, who can you jerk it with?
By
So,
yourself.
is there a social
yourself.
aspect to like gooning? Like, is it something to be enjoyed with others?
Yes, actually.
Yes, I think you should. Okay, sorry.
No. You go first. I talk a lot. You go first.
No, I do think that when I use the word, it's mostly in like a social context. Like I'm gooning with the
Let's
people
goon
that I'm with.
together.
Yeah, let's goon together.
Goon with me.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
do think it's very fun, like to use the word like that. And to be fair, I think that gives it a positive like connotation more than a negative one because you make it a social thing and not just something that people imagine is someone that sits alone in a room, like and is addicted to porn. By making it a social thing, I think that's actually really good.
Yeah, hunched over, coming to a sock, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if that's some people's thing, they like socks. That's fair.
Yeah, some people like socks a
Yeah,
lot.
No,
like
absolutely.
stockings. That's great. Stockings
Yeah,
are great.
not shaming anybody who goons in socks.
Oh god.
It's the implication that Twitter has because you know what they
Oh,
say,
yeah.
like when they look at like content like ours, it's like, oh, your fans are all porn addicts and you're a bunch of gooners, and like, you know, they just dismiss your like opinions or feelings on anything, quote unquote a gooner. Just like, I wondered, like, do you fear that you might be taken less seriously if you identify as a gooner or like you make goon content for gooner? And how do you feel about when people call you gooners? I know it's a lot of questions there. Just work with that as you will.
So I kind of have an opinion on that, especially as someone who builds a community as like kind of my main thing. So I'm a content creator, but my community is really important to me. So a lot of people through my community have actually found a lot of sexual freedom and have been able to discover themselves and be able to play around and find people who kind of have the same interests as them and not feel so alone when they're trying to have sexual and fetish discovery. So, I mean, they can say whatever they want about, oh, you cater to gooners. Okay, maybe I do, but at least we're providing a space where they can discover more about the things that they like in a space that's safe rather than in a place where they're being judged, like where that person came from that said that in the first place.
And
I-
oh god.
I think there's also a very negative stigma about self-pleasure and like onanism and self-gratification. I think part of it may be sort of wrapped up in Chad culture where like a woman masturbating is hot, but like a guy masturbating is like, oh, what, you don't have any bitches? Or, you know, if you're having to pleasure
Oh, yeah.
yourself, then you're just some beta who can't get someone to do it for him. And I think the destigmatizing self-pleasure and your personal sexual literacy is it's just very important, I think.
Yeah, like no, like I think the stigma has been lessening, but there was definitely like a weird stigma about masturbation, even though it was something everybody did, undoubtedly. Because I remember in like early anime, a lot of like times when they would ever show a character masturbating or imply they did, it was usually meant to show that they're mentally unstable. And I'm like,
or
well,
just
why?
a loser.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like
Think about like all the teen movies from like the 90s and 2000s.
That is so
Yeah.
true.
like when everybody does it, like adults, young people, like it's a natural normal thing. Like I don't think it needs to be stigmatized, and that's actually why I like the social aspect of gooning. It destigmatizes that, and honestly it's a really nice way to bring people's walls down, because I've had one of my favorite things I hear from is people in my community say, hey, thank you for making this community, it's really helped me, come out of my shell a bit and like discover things about myself. And I've tried some stuff I didn't like, some stuff I did, but I've learned things about myself, and I really appreciate that. And I like that. I think gooning or just jerking with your homies is an actually good bonding experience. And
Yeah, I have so many opinions about like mid-2000s teen sex comedies, about like how the entire mission of the protagonists was to get laid, and it didn't matter who it was. Like who
Or
the
if they
girl was,
That is so true.
or if they consented, what you had to do to get it, whether you had to like lie or cheat or debase yourself. And anytime a guy masturbated, it was anytime a woman masturbated, it was for the male gaze. It was for guys to get horny about, not for her self-pleasure. Whereas every time a guy masturbated, it was like, like American Pie. It was something to be ridiculed.
Something goofy,
And
basically.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
humiliation,
Yep.
and
basically.
I think that the media that we consume has a lot to do with our perceptions of sex and self. Like, also, like a guy was looking for a girl to have sex with, and it could be literally any hole, like as long as she wasn't fat, or as long as she didn't have buck teeth, or she had to be physically perfect. But all of those like desirable women are just pieces of meat that are interchangeable with each other, and anyone who doesn't fit that sort of fuck bauble role was it's like arm candy. It's just a fuck bauble. And any woman who doesn't meet that sort of ideal was a comedy character, something to be laughed at. And we internalize a lot from what we see in media, and I think it's done a huge amount of damage to just society in general.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
that was a bit of a diatribe. I apologize.
Fixing the stigma on sex has been a net positive for everything. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I know the fucking lead poison generation still is up in arms about it. Gay people are having more sex than me, and it makes me angry. But
yeah.
Wait, is that a
Discussing
thing?
sexuality in purely sexual terms, like anything about gay sex, they just talk about the butt sex all the
Yep.
time, as though that's all there is to it.
There's so much more, so many more positions. Oh man,
We have a
but
question
yeah.
here from Marshmallow. Thank you, by the way, for using Marshmallow chat. The question is, general question for all. What was your headspace when starting out? I constantly talk myself out of making things, so how do y'all get past that first hurdle?
Getting the VTuber model.
Does help.
It actually took a while for me.
Yeah, I don't even use a VTube model when I'm like making lewd content. I use a PNG. This is what I'm comfortable with. I have not gotten to the point yet where I want to like be making like facial expressions or movements when I'm doing my lewd content. You gotta ease yourself into it, right? Like, I started off playing a hentai game, no toy. Then I introduced the toy. Then I cummed. So it was gradual. This was like a 6-month process, but you gotta be consistent with it, and you gotta see if you really like it. Like, that's how you sort of get past that major hurdle. So don't feel like you gotta hit a home run on day one and come 4 times on stream. Show everything and have a nice model. Just do it for the love of the game. Because you love to goon, you love to make lewd content, you love to jerk it. That's why you gotta do it. So just do it!
Yeah, just do it, Gooner. Just do it.
Yeah. Well, I also started out just doing no love in streams and just doing like playing lewd games. And then when I decided to get my like lewd model and actually be like, you know what, I actually want to do lewd content, actual lewd content. My first stream, I think, I did with my lewd model was me playing Dark Souls, because that was what I was comfortable with. So yeah, just do something for your first stream that makes you comfortable or is like normal to you, I think would also help. And like something you think is gonna not stress you out, definitely. Because I don't know if you're worried about doing a just chatting stream or something, because you might not know what to do. So having an activity could definitely help, I think, or at least your first stream. Having something planned.
So for
And if you
me-
have
Don't just sit
LewdTuber friends, sorry,
So
if
for
you have
me-
LewdTuber, oh no, Reverie, I'm sorry.
Okay, first
You go
speak,
first.
Then Reverie.
Sorry. Okay.
If you have LewdTuber friends who are already established, talk to them, and see if they will sort of maybe collab with you for your first stream, or be in chat to support you or give you advice. Like, the social network is very, very important, especially in lewd tubing where, you know, we are putting ourselves out there and exposing ourselves literally and figuratively on the internet. Having a support network and people who will give you sensible advice on how to stay safe and how to do this in a sort of healthy way is essential.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm so sorry, Reverie, please.
It's okay, sweetie. I get excited. I apologize. So I, I'm a little bit of a different case because I am. I went into this with a very specific thing in mind, and I know that for some people it's like good to ease in. So I think that's very solid advice. And for me, on top of wanting to ease into it, I wanted to be very clear about the kind of content that I wanted to create in the end, like what my goal was. So I knew that I wanted to take my in real life experience, being a dominatrix, doing dungeon work, and all of that stuff, and I wanted to present BDSM content in a different way that I felt wasn't very well represented in the VTuber space. And that is extremely important to me. So I knew that whatever it is that I created, despite the model that I chose, despite all of that, that needed to be very central in the content that I created. So I made sure that with my streaming, all of my tip menu items were very centered around, dommy mommy, soft dom content. It was very important that I really looked into, okay, what are the things that I'm very comfortable with? What are the things that I'm good at? What are the things that I'm knowledgeable about? And all of that. And then I went into, okay, if I'm having downtime and I'm trying to talk about something, what kind of things could I talk about that made me comfortable, that really played into the kind of content that I wanted to create. So easing into it is a really good idea, but also being very clear about your audience, the type of people that you're wanting to speak to, and also the kind of content that you're wanting to create in the first place.
Great answer. We've got to get all these real life dominatrices that have been on the show back on.
Ooh, that's so
We've got
cool.
so
That would be
many
so
people who
fun.
started off in like dungeons and kink community IRL, and then brought that experience on. They definitely have a different sort of like perspective, and like you could tell when like someone is sort of like had a background this in IRL.
Yeah.
Like I look up to you because I'm like, yeah, I just started like a complete amateur. I was like, I had no idea what I'm doing.
That's really cute. But that's really, it's really admirable because, I had the experience, so I didn't have that shyness, but you had to basically overcome the shyness and do it anyway. And I think that's so admirable, honestly.
You're all doing amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
The advice about having an activity, by the way, solid advice. Like, don't just sit there for your first stream waiting for tips to come in. Play a game that's lewd. Maybe, like, throw some control links in chat. Like, don't be afraid of the silence. Don't be afraid of like not moaning and like just do the thing.
Just really.
You'd be shocked. But especially if you're a guy, by the way, perform. Be loud. Make your moans. People need to hear that.
Oh.
So many guys do not perform.
Moan like a bitch. Like, let it out, make it think that you're enjoying yourself, like make it known. But I think that's really the most important thing, because I know the advice on Twitch streams is enjoy yourself, and like it'll be good, and like to a certain extent that's true, although I think Twitch you need to perform a lot more. But like on Fansly though, I think that is doubly important, because again, this is about pleasure. That is the ultimate goal. If you're not enjoying yourself, if you're not having fun with it, if you're not, actually getting turned on and enjoying what you're doing, then your audience isn't gonna either. And like,
I hate it when people like act like they're so above it all, and either like are just making fun, like if they're in a collab, like either just like making fun and ripping on the people who are performing, or just like trampling over their performance, or if it's a solo thing, like it's so off-putting. Like if you're not enjoying yourself, then like why am I here? Then it feels weird.
It's very obvious when you're not having a good time.
Yeah, people always tell me not.
Yeah.
It reflects you're on the headspace for it. Gotta drop that.
Oh yeah, I've definitely done that before.
Yep. Like, and also just to point out, so for the the one thing advice I do have for you know, starting out and doing stuff, a thing that can help is one, just do it. Just go ahead, like, you know, pick a date and say, this is the day I'm going to do it, ready or not, here I come. But another thing is maybe ask yourself, what is something you want to do? What is something you want to bring to your content here? Like, you know, like as Reverie said, bringing like, you know, the Dami energy and all that. And for me, though, the thing I want to do is I want to find a way, because VTubing as lewd content, I think is still relatively new. Like, VTubers have been around for a bit, but we're kind of new on the fansy lewd side of things. And I was like, you know, in a lot of ways, people would probably see VTubing as a disadvantage because, you know, you can't show your holes, can't show your junk, can't show your other stuff on there. But I want to find, but, you know, so many people out there love jerking it to tunes all day. I know I'm one of them. So I was like, what are creative ways I can make, you know, VTubing more horny? And my first idea was my glory hole thing, plugging myself now. See, on my stream, I have a thing where I have a glory hole set up, and chat, for a certain donation, can add a dick to the glory hole, and the dick will literally come out of the hole, and I can just, you know, suck and play with it the whole time, you know, while on
Johnny
stream.
draws the dicks himself.
I do. I draw
so
each
good.
dick individually,
It's so cool.
and each one, like, you know, is designed to come out of the hole, like, on command. And I have over 50 dicks in my glory hole now, and I love it. Yep.
Ooh.
Not
Aim
all
for
of them,
100,
so
chat.
one at a time.
Unfortunate.
50 dicks! I slime took 50 dicks!
I was
In a
getting
row.
very excited.
To be fair, you're slime. You can technically take
You
them
could-
all.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you
That's
just gotta
very true.
stretch me
Yeah.
out, you know,
It's
like
really
Venom.
cool.
Be adventurous.
Oh my god,
I mean,
like
you
this...
could just make your whole body like pliable, and people
Yeah.
could just
Yeah,
stick their dicks in wherever.
yeah, exactly. No, like, technically my whole... I am the one true owner hole.
Wow.
I'm
Exactly.
changing your name on my server.
The one
The one true owner hole. Oh, damn. You know what? I earned that. I wear it as pride.
You sure did, buddy. All right.
You sure did, buddy.
Chat,
Fuck
thank you
yeah.
so much for using Marshmallow. Please feel free to submit more questions via Marshmallow. I do have some more questions, so I'm going to go back to my list. So let's talk about No Nut November. What is your personal opinion of No Nut November? Do you think there's any benefit to abstaining from consumption of lewd content for any period of time?
Yes, it can be, because it can make, when you come back to it, much more enjoyable. Or it can be, if you're like me and you're into certain amounts of degradation, humiliation, failing No Nut November can be kind of an enjoyable thing. Like, you try and then fail after 3 days, like I did. You know,
Oh wow.
you know, just be like, fuck, I failed. But if I'm gonna be honest, No Nut November, and that, you know, when you fail, then you turn to like, my usual tradition is try No Nut November, and when I fail, then it turns to non-stop Nut November, where I'm just like,
When you
Okay.
fall off the wagon, make sure you hit the ground.
hard, exactly, hit it hard, and then just go like non-stop as much as you can. And I've been enjoying that. But for me, honestly, No Nut November is not as big as Locktober is for me. I'm much more into Locktober these days.
Oh,
Because
that's
I do,
so cool, by the way. I
do-
didn't even know about Locktober until I found out that there's people misunderstood what Locktober was.
it's
Oh,
very
that was so
What did you
funny.
think it was?
big.
They were
Wait,
like-
what did they think it was?
They were like locked in Locktober. We're gonna train and get
You're
swole
gonna
and,
be locked in already.
Oh.
and
Absolutely.
improve our lives and read the Bible. And it was this like uber Christian dude who like quote unquote thought of it.
Oh no.
And then he had to make a video retraction because people were explaining what Locktober actually is. And he was like, we're gonna call it something different now because
Oh, you poor baby, poor child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but
that
no,
was so funny.
that's funny. But Locktober is pretty big in the gay male gooner circles that I'm in. It's because a lot of people in the
gamers,
gamers are also into BDSM DOMs, and like there are a lot of groups where, you know, you'll basically give your key code to you know, I know it's a discussion for like another stream that, you know, the one I had to miss, but like, you know, There's a
Key
thing
holder.
people do, key holder, yeah, you give that, and then you can't, you're basically stuck in your cage for the whole month. Sometimes, you're allowed to come in your cage. Sometimes you're only allowed to come, anally. Sometimes you're just not allowed to come at all. But that's sort of the thing I do. But you're still allowed to look at porn. In fact, the whole point of Locktober is you're still forced into situations where you absorb porn, get horny, but you're not allowed to finish. So it's more like a month-long edging session. But so getting back to No Nut November, well, actually, for me, it's not as big, but I still think it can be fun. And there is definitely, I think, a benefit to trying it out in multiple different ways. But yeah, that's at least my thoughts.
Oh my god. When I did it in 2022, somewhere around November 20th, I was the saddest I've ever been in my life.
Oh no, this is so bad.
Oh,
I cried for the first time in years.
Oh my god.
And I'm like,
But
why
see-
am I so sad?
Oh,
because I
wow.
haven't met your kids. Oh, but that can be an
Never
Didn't-
do that again.
Well, I was because to be fair, I'm a squirrel. Of course, I make fun jokes around No Nut November, but I do see benefits of not doing it for a while and holding back, and maybe also not consuming lewd content.
Mhm.
But I do also see the most normal argument against No Nut November is health benefits. Is that it's not especially for males not healthy to hold yourself back for that long.
It's very.
But yeah, but of course, abstaining for a while is, and then coming back to it is fine. If you need a break from porn, I understand. If you have been in
Yeah.
a period where you feel that you have consumed a little bit too much, as we said, most of us also don't think porn addiction is healthy. It's not healthy. So
Overindulgence is a thing.
Yeah.
That is true.
So I do see that there can be a benefit to No Nut November, in that maybe you become aware that maybe I should take a break. But I do also think that you should think about your own health, and do not be afraid to pleasure yourself if you feel like it, and don't think that I don't want to fail this challenge. Don't be ashamed, or be ashamed.
Or
if
be
you're like
ashamed
that.
if you're into that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
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 Be
I think
ashamed if that makes you
understanding-
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that's what
And if
that's
you're
what
it
makes
if
you
it makes
come.
you
do it,
happy.
if you're
or
actually
not.
gonna do this challenge, actually go edge yourself, literally. Don't go read your Bible. Don't refuse to engage on things. That's just not fun.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I
and
think
edge
that's gonna
yourself to
make
the
it
very-
even less fun. It seems.
Well, actually,
Did you actually not consume anything that month?
No, I did. I was
Okay.
constantly watching porn and edging myself right up to the very limit.
Okay.
Damn, that takes
I would cry
self-control. You
too,
lasted
That's
that
actually.
long?
really impressive.
Damn.
Yeah.
I cried.
Really sad.
I'm just imagining
That
Atra
was-
jerking it now, crying
I would be in shambles.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Oh damn.
I think,
After
I think
self-control is
understanding-
iron.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's
Yeah,
not.
my
No.
self-control is nothing.
Oh my
God.
I have no self-control.
No, but once you decide to do something, there is nothing that can stop you.
That's true. I do get locked in.
Oh,
Locked
so
in,
you
locked
also
out.
locked in
Locktober.
Locktober. Yeah. Gonna prove ourselves, get swole, read the Bible.
Yeah, that literally
Insane.
was it. And they were other guys stitching their things yeah, I'm locked in,
No.
lifting dumbbells and eating cream of wheat.
I'm locked in, just like every. It's just a cage. Also, I'm just now imagining Atra Bible reading, jerking.
Just ASMR.
Songs of
You know
Solomon
what?
just
Actually,
jerking it.
That could be kind of funny, just to be doing a stream where you're just reading the Bible.
Well,
I tell you what, if
stroking
I
your
ever get struck by lightning, I know who to blame.
I
Oh
think
my
my
God.
final, point about this particular topic is understanding why you're doing it. I think a lot of people feel pressure just because it's a challenge to do. And as we know, a lot of challenges do not go well for everyone. They do a lot of stupid things just because everyone else is doing it. And I'm not saying No Nut November is stupid, but don't feel pressured into
is kind
doing
of.
the challenge. It's a little stupid,
it's
but
a
we're
little
gonna pretend like it's not stupid really quick, okay? Okay. So we're not saying it is stupid. It is stupid, but you know.
so
It's
stupid
a
things can be
little bit
fun.
stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't feel
hey.
pressured, and like understand the reason why you're doing it, you know, like don't get to the point where you're like miserable and you're like hating this for like the entire month, crying like poor Atra there. Don't do that. You know,
Don't
if it's
be
fun
like
for
Atra,
you,
chat.
do not
Don't.
be like, you need a no.
Don't end up like Atra.
Shirt with Atra's face on it. Do not be like Atra. You know, but if it's fun for you and you're having a good time with it and you actually feel challenged, I say do it. But if you're feeling super pressured to do it and you're actually miserable, I would say pass on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much pressure to do stuff for the memes that's like just self-destructive.
Yeah.
I was 100% doing it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I once did the 13 werewolf challenge for the meme, and it was totally worth it. But you know,
I'm very confused about what that is, but
Explain
that
that
sounds
with me.
super hot, and I kind of want to try it now. What does it mean? Wow, you know.
Sip's like, I want it. What is it?
Yeah.
oh boy, listen, okay, listen.
Okay, I'm listening.
I'll tell you when you're old. Oh my god.
I'm infinity years old. How old do I have to be?
Yeah,
infinity plus one.
I've lived for quite a.
One more year.
One more infinity plus one.
Tell you what, type it in the in like the Discord chat. I'm curious.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, I
I'm
actually
playing Discord
made it up. I'm
specifically
just
for
being-
this
Oh,
explanation.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll
Other
explain it in
people
the
is
most
it.
Twitch TOS safe way possible.
No, I just made up. I was just memeing.
Yeah, no, it doesn't exist. He was like,
Oh, okay. Well,
It's
He
the
was just
13
saying,
you never
like,
heard
oh.
the furry joke? The 13
Oh.
werewolves?
look. I learned what October was this year. Like anything is possible.
Oh, okay.
Now it
I'm
has
sorry.
to be
I often
real.
forget that not all the people I hang out with are not furries, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, right.
the joys of having a sexologist person on staff.
Non-furries exist?
Thank you
Wait,
very much, Lady Mistake.
what?
Oh, you're
Not
welcome.
real.
Yeah, everyone chats like googling too. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
It has to be real now. Next year, we have to do it.
Oh,
Yes.
God,
Whatever it is.
I'll have to do the 13 werewolf challenge.
21 cock salute.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
That's Johnny's got 50, so like, I think we're set.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
50. Well, I'm hoping to have 100.
Enough
That's
to
my
share
goal.
with everyone.
Did you bring enough for the class, Johnny?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. Make
I
mine
wanna
extra
see
large.
one.
Thank
I
you
kinda
so
want to
much.
see them now. I'm like so
I mean-
curious what they look like.
I mean, I can share the them with you if you'd like. Here, one sec. I'll put in the Discord.
Ooh.
One sec.
While we do that, I've got some more questions in chat. By the way, feel free to ask questions in chat or to use Marshmallow. We would love to take your questions, chat. Yeah. So the question I have for y'all is, let's talk about keeping your audience, so to speak. So I'm curious about your approach. Do you have a particular approach to retaining your viewers, or do you feel like the cycle of new viewers sustains your momentum? Now, the logic behind this question is, people seek out lewd content for various reasons. They're feeling lonely, or they're satisfied, or they're single, and people inevitably find somebody or move on to other creators. So, like, how do you feel about that necessarily?
Like, it's of course sad to see like regulars go, but I'm like, do what makes you happy. Like, I also, especially when you said the thing about like if someone suddenly gets a partner, I'm like totally understand if they're not comfortable watching me anymore, if that makes their partner uncomfortable. But so surprisingly, I think I've had one or two where it's like, oh yeah, I'm also watching with my partner now, which is pretty cool. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've had tons of those.
Yeah. But it's of course sad to see people leave, but I also think that people should go and enjoy the content they enjoy, and don't spend money on me if I'm not satisfying you. That's fair. Like
That's a good
Yeah.
line, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Like, there is always other money. So, like,
yeah.
if greener pastures, are out there for you, that's fine.
I do see this a lot because, like, I just through the course of my work, like, I know YouTubers big and small, especially on the small end, as a scriptwriter and such. And I do see some creators get kind of like unhappy when people don't resub because like they're small. They have like 10 subs, and then one month maybe like 3 people may sub, and they take it kind of hard. And I feel bad because like it is what it is. Like they see the goods and they want to move on sometimes. It's just how it is.
Yeah, but I would also say you don't know whether like sometimes you also should not try of course it's sad, but you also have to think about maybe these people just this month something happened, maybe their economical financial situation changed. You don't know, and to be fair, it's not really your business. So but if you if you feel bad, don't maybe they'll come back later. It could also they just need a break from your content, and then they will come back later. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, it's possibly a case of the parasocial connection going both ways, right? Where, like, if someone doesn't resub, people take it personally, as though they have an actual relationship, rather than like, I'm an entertainer and I'm providing a service and a product, and someone just either couldn't afford or didn't need the product.
Yeah, I sort of take that approach more than anything. I don't really go for like huge growth. You'll notice that I don't like tweet a lot. I don't do a lot of like super posting content. I pour a lot into my community and keeping people happy that I do get, rather than just collecting people. And I think people, what will end up happening, or I see a lot of, is people will get tons and tons and tons of followers and a lot of engagement, but they're not making any money. And they get really, discouraged by that. Whereas I don't really focus on getting a whole bunch of numbers. I try to cultivate a community of people who do love and appreciate my content and my community. And I do a lot of events. I tailor a lot of my streams. I talk to my community a lot about the things that they like. We keep a very open communication situation, so I always know kind of, what keeps them happy, what they would like to see more of or less of even. And yes, sometimes people do go, but I always treat it like a revolving door. Sometimes they'll be gone for 3 months and then they'll pop back up and they'll spend some time with you and they'll disappear again. And maybe I'll see them again in the future, and maybe I won't. But I never take it personally, because I try to say, okay, maybe they'll come back. The door is always open. I'm not going to tell them to fuck off if they leave. The door is always open. They can always come back. And that's just how I keep myself from getting into that, oh my god, they unsubbed, because they might come back. Yeah.
I can tell that you did like IRL, like you have clients and stuff, like as a dominator. Like that's very much the approach of somebody who like has a customer base and repeat clients and such.
Yeah. You have to see it that way, because like you guys said, you just don't really know why they left, and there could be a trillion reasons why they left. You might never know why, and if you want that closure, you might never get it.
You're never gonna get it,
Yeah.
But even that is also the same on Twitch. Like, you will have viewers that will sometimes just pop in again after like 5 months and be like, oh, hi, I'm here again. I haven't been here a while. And then they might not come back again for 5 months. You don't know. And it's not like they didn't want to see your content. They just been busy maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Maintaining is
open. I expect that most of my audience will eventually move on, because they won't always need BFE vibes,
Right.
Yeah. You just gotta accept that sometimes.
And I've got to say, like, my life became like exponentially less like personally stressful when I kind of internalized that sometimes it's just not about me.
Right.
Like that person being a bitch at the grocery store, like, it's not about me, even if they're yelling at me. Like, I've got nothing to do with this person. And like, if people leave, whether they go for good or if they go for a while and then come back, it's not about me. And if it was about me, they would tell me. And if they don't, then that's not my problem.
Yeah, it's their
So, like, if they leave, it's not about me. And if they come back, I'm happy to see them again.
Yeah. We always
Johnny,
have to see you again.
You're going to say something.
Oh,
Sorry, Johnny.
so this is actually one area where I often struggle with because I have ADHD out the wazoo. I'm always hopping on to the next thing, next project, next idea, and so because of that, I've always been very good at gaining people, but I have always felt I have a great deal of difficulty keeping people. Not because I don't want to or because I don't care. Like I try, like I run my community and I love it, like when we can, but I get busy or I get I get into a project and I get into a headspace where I'm just working on it and I neglect things or, I'm just hopping on from one thing to another. And so it can be difficult for me sometimes. I think that's always been my bigger weakness as a content creator.
I mean, you're busy. You have a boyfriend. You have like so much content to work on. You're hardworking.
I have
of course.
content, real job, things like that. I do still love like having a community and trying to like build a Discord. It's always been my, one of the things that I've really wanted to have work in the background. You have a loyal community that hangs out and can be friends and just chill together. And like I've gotten slowly better at that. It's become a lot easier because, like I said, what's a good excuse for us to hang out together? Hey, let's jerk off and goon together. Has been a good one, but like it can be it's a matter of comfort but also just a matter of time, and so that's the thing that I've had difficulty with. But I will say, like, I definitely come from the content, so because I started in Twitch and then moved into the loot tubing, I've been slowly working my way over from like the opposite end. So I'm definitely post a lot, but I'm still learning the more intimate side of things, because like a lot of my content is sort of deliberately lacks intimacy because I aim for I'm just gonna say this, the anonymous fuckhole sort of vibe,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So, but it doesn't mean I don't want intimacy. It's just the thing that I admit I am less skilled with, weirdly enough. But I feel like I'm learning slowly.
I do appreciate
Well, I
you
would
being
also
sort
say,
of vulnerable about that, Johnny.
Yeah, it's
Can I give you a piece of advice maybe about the
Go for it.
community thing? So I have ADHD too, and my community knows that, and my moderators know that. I am like the biggest scatterbrain person. I could be in the middle of talking to you and forget what the fuck I'm saying.
I've
So
been there.
I literally had to build my community with that in mind, and I always tell people I'm always extremely transparent about my ADHD. I am extremely transparent with my moderators about that, and I have kind of created my community and prepared my mods and created templates and kind of created a system. So if I do have a bad brain day where I just cannot focus or I cannot be around because there's a lot going on or I can't answer DMs, then I have a support system with my moderators who can kind of back me up and keep my community occupied while I'm trying to get my brain back in order. And so it doesn't feel like I'm absent because, I kind of have built this in a way where it kind of accommodates my ADHD. I'm in a position where I hired a personal assistant kind of help me with that because I'm very forgetful. So the first investment that I made was hiring a personal assistant who kind of handles all of the little tiny things that I have the tendency to forget, which gives me a little bit more space to be able to make a post to my community or spend a couple minutes in VC with them because I'm not feeling so bogged down. So maybe just kind of think about, okay, so how does ADHD affect my ability to be a good community person? If it's because you're forgetful or it's because you don't feel like you have support, try to, fill in the holes there, and then you might have a little bit more time to, be with your community a little bit more. That's kind of what I've had to do.
Yeah, I think that is something that I need to get. I need like a support system to help me run or hang out or do that sort of thing when I'm either busy or not in the right brain space or anything
Yeah,
like that.
that's
like, a lot of people I know get managers these days, which I've considered because I also am a little bit of scatterbrain, as my mods
Yeah.
know. So
that's
yeah.
how I
Getting
got
help is
started in the
important.
streaming world, was as an assistant/manager.
Really?
And
Oh.
something like a technique, I suppose, or a concrete technique that I use is I'm very much kind of a dummy mommy kind of person. And I borrowed from the sort of girlfriend experience where I call my community members starlights, and like
cute.
when I make posts and stuff, you will usually find me addressing them as starlight or starlights. Like it will feel as though I am speaking to you rather than just like flinging a post out into the ether. And I think that that's something that has made my community feel connected to me and wanting to come back, is that they feel personally seen and connected.
It's a big deal.
Maybe
Mine
I
are the
should
devotees. I
try
call
that
mine my
more.
devotees.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We are the GoonerGoos on my side.
So
Like
cute.
I call them nutters and nutlets, but yeah.
God, that's
But
so
I
good. The
haven't-
nutters. Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
So you got the Gooner.
Because in Britain, a
Oh.
nutter is a mad person.
It works on so many levels.
Baseball teams over here.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God, Atra can be the mesh.
So much maybe.
I'm sorry, that was a little.
He could have like all the water bottles in all of his tentacles. Like,
Ooh.
Oh God, just like
Planning
anyone
them
need
out
some
to-
water, anyone need a hot towel.
mhm.
You know what?
Constantly.
Atra would be the nicest guy to run an orgy. Like he would be checking on everybody, bring them water bottles,
would.
Walking
hot
with a
towels.
clipboard, like,
Anyone need...
To be fair, I think I would go into the
Number one, what are
host
your
role
pronouns?
as
I wanna make
well
sure
if
you're
I
addressing me
was
correctly.
hosting an orgy. So
Yeah.
You know, we have condoms over there. You know, you got your SED records. We can give you a little stamp that, like, you know, let everyone know that you've been checked. Okay. If you haven't been checked, you have a free check right over there. It takes only 15 minutes. You know.
I'm gonna invite Atra to host one of my orgies then.
Yeah, I'm a good logistics guy. Like, I'm shit
Hell
about
yeah.
like personal relationships with people. I'm great at logistics.
Oh.
We've got some questions from Marshmallow. 2 questions actually, Marshmallow. So let's get to them. First one's a pretty simple one. Do IRL people know about the services you provide?
Yes.
Yeah.
no. Or like, do you mean like close, like my parents? They do not.
Yeah, mine.
Friends do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been letting some of my friends know because I've discovered that some of my friends are VTubers. Like IRL friends.
Cool.
No, I also have friends who are not even into content creator space know that I do like not safe for work content, but like not even my own parents know, and I'm not really sure. Like I don't think the thing is I have no idea how they would react. Like my parents are very supportive, but it could be that this is the one thing
The one thing they don't. Yeah.
they don't, which I don't know. Like they're not really like, I don't know. So I just been like holding back. Also, yeah. Also because I've been feeling a little bit guilty about like not being able to tell them about where the money comes from. So like I just, yeah, at some point I will have to tell them, but I just decided not yet.
It's valid.
So IRL, not really. The only people that really kind of know that I'm sort of a sex worker are my sister and my brother. And even then, they don't know all the details. I don't really share that with them. Like, it's... My parents know I stream, because I used to stream on Twitch. And they know I make money from it, but they do not know why or how. And I don't really think I'm going to tell them. I don't have that kind
Yeah.
of relationship with them.
fair.
I to put it bluntly, grew up in a very Christian household.
Yeah.
My parents have kind of dropped that as the years have gone by, but, you know, they've gotten better, but they're not...
But your roots are still your roots.
Yeah. You know, it's just not something that they need to know about, in my opinion.
Yeah, like to be fair, like my family, since it's not very Christian at all, but even I'm like, I don't know like how they would feel about like me doing sex work. Because to be fair, it's very like I understand that for some people it can be a huge like I think what my parents would feel like I'm afraid they would feel is that why would you have to do this?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, are you in financial
Have you seen the
trouble?
fucking economy?
Yeah. Well, I
Or
live
like
in a
they
country with a
failed
pretty good
in
safety
supporting
net.
you.
They feel like they failed in supporting me. Yeah. And that's kind of why I haven't really told them mostly.
Yeah. Mine know, but they were like, listen, we understand, but we don't want to know about it. So, like,
That's fair.
we get it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
just don't tell us about it. Don't tell us about what you're doing there. Sometimes I mention like, oh, I'm doing a collab on Fansly or whatever, but like, obviously I don't go into details. And like, obviously my husband knows, all of our friends know, like he's quite proud to have a wife who does sex work. Some of his friends follow my channels and
well,
like enjoy my content, and that's cool.
yeah, obviously my boyfriend knows like everything.
Yeah,
Like,
of course,
he's
yeah.
hugely supportive, and that's why I love him so much, Big Bear. But like, yeah, like your partner definitely has to know if you're doing this sort of thing. I think like it's gonna come up at
That's
some
just an
point.
ethical thing. You've got to tell
Yeah.
your partner.
In real life, for me, at first I was like, I don't want anyone to know anything, right? I was like, I don't, and that even comes from having, the in real life experience. It still like felt different, wanting to do it as a VTuber because, not that many of my friends are even like online that much, so having to explain what even a VTuber is and then explain how I do lewd stuff online, it felt really overwhelming to me to even try. But over time, when I realized that I was kind of really in what I felt like was my purpose and building my community and the education that I provide and all of that, I was like, you know what, I'm kind of proud of what I do. So I did end up telling my mother, who is extremely supportive of it. I've told my friends, my closest friends, they all know. And I don't find myself anymore being shy to tell people because, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just doing I always tell people that I'm in this for people first. Like the money is great, but we're still dealing with other humans, we're dealing with people. And I think the opportunity to connect with other people is really special, and I'm not shy about that. So I don't really have a shyness about it anymore. I used to.
Yeah,
That's very lovely.
Thank you.
that is beautiful.
Yeah,
That is
only a handful of my friends know. No one else is going to, for a multitude of reasons. They just usually have questions because they're not used to men.
Yeah.
Oh,
also my parents-in-law know because his mother follows me on Twitter.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
really
I see
cute,
now.
actually.
Yep. So they are very much aware of what I do, and
by the
they are
transit
very
property,
Christian.
they know what I do.
They are very
Yeah.
My mother-in-law knows what you do, Atra. No, they are
Yeah.
very much aware.
Oh God.
Oh no, no.
My mother-
actually, Oh, no. First.
They are like a conservative Christian family, and yeah, they're aware and they're like, it's cool, whatever she needs to do to like earn extra money and stuff, that's fine. My parents have a Twitch account and they sometimes pop into my streams on Twitch. So yeah, they know what I'm like.
No, I was just about to say that my parents don't know, but my best friend's mom has found out, and the only thing she said to her was, "Oh, you're not gonna start doing that, right?" Yeah. No, actually, also one of the reasons I'm a little bit hesitant to tell my parents is because my parents don't even get the whole VTuber thing. And when the first time my mom saw my VTuber model, her first question was, "Is this something sexual?" And I said no.
No, of course not.
No, of course not. And now I
No,
moved
who
over
would
to
do
this
that?
side, and yeah. But yeah, no, my mom is a little bit judgmental. Not in like, she's supportive in what I do. Like she wants me to do one like this that makes me happy, but she just doesn't understand it. And she doesn't really understand this whole VTuber thing. Why does it have to be this model? Why does it have to be this? And I'm just like, this.
Well, I'm
this
sure
is-
she's got her own internalized stigmas that she's dealing with. And,
Oh,
like,
definitely. Oh no,
coming
that's
from.
definitely it. Cause yeah. where I'm like, that's you don't have to worry about it. You don't like, and if you don't want to interact with it, don't interact with it. So even on the Twitch side, my parents are not really in the know of what I do, and that's like both intention from my side, but it's definitely also they have not shown enough interest to actually go seek it out. So, but if they do, they will probably find out at some point. If they, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We've got another question from Marshmallow. This one's about online versus IRL. So the question goes, so some may argue that I need to touch grass. What does everyone think about the people who deeply and completely immerse themselves in online communities and Discord servers, perhaps even preferring it to IRL friends and interactions?
I
Go ahead.
have some.
Johnny
Sorry.
first, then Mystique.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, honestly, I don't think it's that big of a difference or deal. Like, because here's the thing, in my opinion, we're in a different sort of social age, where you don't have to you have to settle for the people living in your immediate area. You can go out and find people who are more fit you online, and it's not like there is zero physical meeting. Like, a lot of friend groups meet up in like cons or stuff like that. I honestly don't think it's really that much different than an IRL relationships all that much. Like, I guess there may be a little differences, but overall, I think it's personally fine. Like, especially after like COVID, because like here's the thing: the reason I got into VTubing was I had to move a lot right as COVID was starting, and so all my old friend groups dried up, or I lost connection with the people who I was living with in the old cities, and like lost contact with people from like college and all that. So I was kind of just sort of, and because we're all like locked up, I was just sort of on my own, and that's depressing. So I started like VTubing. This looks fun, and I got into it. And I met so many wonderful people, and it's been a genuinely personal growth journey. Like finding like people with different ideas or ideas similar to mine, or exploring myself. I personally think it's healthy, and in some ways, I think that it is good to have. I would say maybe get a mix would probably be the healthiest, but I honestly think that it is healthy for the human condition to be able to meet people who think like you or think different than you in like zones and threads and discords, and be exposed to that and immerse yourself into it. I genuinely think it is ultimately a net positive. That's my take, though.
Great point. I definitely agree that COVID has a lot to sort of accelerate that inevitable like move towards like online spaces and gathering like-minded people, so to speak. Mystique, what was your thoughts on this?
So, for centuries, socialization was one thing. It was meeting up in person and seeing people, whether it be in your own home or in public spaces. And with the sort of digital age, socialization and the meaning of what that is has changed and has incorporated a largely virtual sort of aspect. And I think that a lot of people, particularly in older generations, don't understand digital socialization, and they don't understand the depth of relationships that you can form online, and digital being with other digital presences as like a form of I suppose socializations. I'll say it for like the 900th time. And they're like, oh, you have to go outside and go and see people and play outside, otherwise you're not.
Same old school thing of like, you want a job, you gotta walk in there, talk to the boss, and give him a firm handshake.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Dad, that's not how it works anymore,
But
Dad.
there is a
No.
converse, because like I am an elder millennial. I'm born in 87, so we were sort of on the cusp of the internet age, and so you'll see this a lot at the moment, with discourse online being what it is, that we've straddled the line of in person and online, and I think that people who are chronically online and don't socialize in real life at all become or are susceptible to becoming more prone to dehumanize other people online because they stop seeing them as people. And
So
you
you
know,
see both the pros and cons of like
yeah,
being so
exactly.
Yeah, you definitely have a predilection to enter an echo chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which
there
you-
is risk of that.
Yeah,
And you
seem
Yeah.
become
like-
more comfortable abusing people because
Mhm.
they're just pictures and
they're
things on
not
a
real.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to someone, you know, you would almost never see the people who are posting like, "Ha ha, your body, my choice." Like, if you put them in front of another person, they would likely not say that, and if they did, they would probably get kicked in the teeth. And
Yeah.
you know, I think we need a bit more of getting kicked in the teeth if you are abusive to other people.
Online.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I
I
think
agree with that.
for me, I actually didn't really start having online relationships until like a little bit before like COVID even. I never really used Discord. I'd never really been part of like online communities before. So having to go from that and now when I went into VTubing, how that is even more prevalent was kind of not scary, but it's kind of scary because to be fair, right now I don't have a lot of RL friendships.
Mm.
Like I met my best friend online and we do not live in the same country, so our relationship is primarily online, even though we try to see each other regularly because we can't travel to each other. But like that is like I do feel that pressure from my parents to be like, so who are you hanging out with? And I'm like, I'm hanging out with my friends, but we are not in the same room. Like it's very hard to explain to other people how online friendships work
Mm.
because yeah, especially if
Especially
they
if
are
they've
older.
never experienced it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, and but in this and in the same sense, I am also like aware of myself. I'm self-aware about it, where I can get a little bit self-conscious about it, where I'm like, maybe I should go and make real life friends. So I don't just have all my friendships online. But that's also more about like, oh, now all my friendships are moving into only being content creators almost. Should I also have friends who are outside of that? Which luckily my best friend is. So
Mm.
that has sometimes helped because sometimes it's also just very nice to speak to someone who are not in the content creator sphere.
I
feel.
would that is something I would definitely agree with. If you're a content creator, please have friends who are not content creators. Like, because don't be wrong, like you can have genuine friendships with content creators, but it can be very easy to get too into the numbers or the game or the whole fucking space. Having people who have nothing to do with this or, are only tangentially related or, you know, in your life I think is very healthy because while I
Yeah.
don't believe it is unhealthy to have internet spaces because as I said I think there are a lot of benefits. Now there are definitely problems that can occur as Mystique said, but I think that the net positives I think ultimately outweigh them as long as you don't fall into those traps. But I will say the content creation space that can get a little bit
It can get toxic.
it can get toxic. Both like even if the false or the toxic positivity, I think, is like the main issue.
And like
Yeah.
people
Like-
use like friendship language to define their content creator like relationship, which is primarily a business relationship. But like then it's like bestie this or best friend that or wife this or husbando that, and it gets really confusing because
Yeah.
that for people who may not be used to sort of speaking to people in like that overly familiar context, using friendship language for your business relationships gets really dicey because then people get very upset with you when you don't meet the actual like friendship threshold that they may have.
Yeah, like I think that is a thing that people don't understand. Like, I'm not gonna say content creation relationships or friendships are not real friendships. I will not say that, but I will say that a thing to remember is that these relationships are all based fundamentally on, I don't want to say transaction, but a endeavor.
Business.
Endeavor is a better word.
Yes.
We all
Yes.
met through this endeavor. Odds are we would have never met without said endeavor. That endeavor is fundamentally the foundation of our relationships. And I think that is important not to lose sight of. Because, I've had people who I've been friends with, and we were friends. We loved hanging out. But the moment that we didn't have that endeavor binding us anymore, we just went our separate ways. It wasn't like hostile, it wasn't angry. It just
Yeah, you
sometimes how
drift
life is.
apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I know people don't like to hear that because it's depressing, but like I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's sort of healthy to just be aware of it. You don't need to be like,
Yeah, it's real talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm very transparent in that like I might be a dominant personality, but I'm very much a squishy person. And one of the things that somebody told me when I was first starting was, oh, make sure that you take time to really create your persona and make sure it's separate from you so you don't have you don't confuse people for being your friends and this and that, and you don't get personally attached. Well, I realized that I was basically creating this character after myself, right? It's based off of my experiences, and I'm older, right? And so it was like, okay, I'm not going to be disingenuous to myself. I know that I'm going to care about people, right? I know that I'm going to meet people that we might not be friends, our best friends, but I'm squishy. I'm going to care about them. I'm going to care about their well-being. I'm going to wonder how they're doing. That's just how I am. But there is, if you're actually genuinely interested in becoming friends with another content creator, I think it's important, yes, to remember that your foundations were that, but don't let it be the only foundation that you create with that person. If you're genuinely interested in becoming a friend with a content creator, then you need to kind of explore the other aspects of each other that you might, like. You might like anime. You like crafts. You might like other things. Don't just always get to talking about content constantly, because let's say you leave the space, then you have nothing left.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you
Yeah.
Because
really
that's
have
actually
to.
what I'm most afraid of when I say the thing
Yeah.
about like I'm self-conscious about it. What will happen if I leave this space? Will I still have someone? And I will have a few people, I'm pretty sure. But there's also a ton of people where I'm like, yeah, I still care about these people. And I might not be doing content creation myself, but I might still follow them. And then but then it's just then I just become a viewer, which I'm also ready to just accept that now I'm just there and to support them.
Yeah, I think it's being honest with yourself. Do you really want to be friends with this person, or do you want a business transaction with this person? It's okay to admit that you just want to collab with the person, you want to create content with that person, and maybe you have an amazing collaboration partnership, but maybe you don't make great friends, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to work with people that you're not great friends with. But if you want to be friends with that person, then I think you need to make that extra effort to be their friend and get to know them outside of just the thing that bound you in the first place.
Yeah. There's very much a discourse of like, oh, we spoke a couple of times and we got on, therefore they're my wife now, or we're best
Right? Yeah.
friends, and they will either it's a case of like you were saying, like a business collaboration, or for the benefit of being seen with this person, because often they are bigger people who like you want to be seen with, and they're like, oh, they're my wifey, they're my best friend, like, hey bestie. And other times they will, once you've spoken to them a couple of times, expect you to fulfill their requirements for being a best friend that you didn't sign up for. And suddenly they're expecting you to like spend all your time with them, or like,
Private time
listen
off
to all of
screen.
their problems. Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, it's so difficult to navigate the sort of friendship discourse in content creator space, because people have such wildly differing sort of definitions of what that means.
Yeah, one of the things that I make sure to do if I'm doing a collaboration with someone or whatever is I always meet them like in VR, or I talk to them in VC, and I'm very, very clear about, the type of person I am and what we're meeting together for. And if we get on, then I'll make the forward like, hey, I really loved talking to you. I felt like we got along well. I would love to talk to you again. Maybe we can talk about something else or whatever, you know. Maybe we had a conversation during the, you know, our getting to know each other, and we like the same things, and you know, maybe I'll invite them to talk again. But I think that there's just too much of this like, okay, we talked once, we got on, we're best friends now, and then
Exactly.
there's no interest in getting to know that person beyond that first conversation. You just kind of base it on whatever you learned about them online and whatever conversations that you've had business wise with that person.
Yeah. And it becomes mostly about tweeting at each other as well.
Yeah.
Like those kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game is too tired. I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, I try to, you know, put interest where I like them. Like sometimes Etch will post something and I'll answer because I like the content or whatever. But I don't really, you know, spend all day just like commenting on people's things. You know, I just kind of, I pass through Twitter. I might post a thing and then I go and do something else.
Yeah. And it's fine to just be like friendly with people. Like I have a lot of people that I like.
Friendsly.com.
Friendly. But like I have a lot of people that I like, and you know, I want to see them do well, but I'm not gonna like invest my like limited energy and free time in them. But like when we are talking, I love talking to them, and it's fine to be at that level. Like you don't have to be like business associate or practically married, you know?
No.
Yeah, there are a lot of levels in between those things.
Actually, that I think as lewdtubers, we really tread very like weirdly in between that a lot when we do collabs. Because some people would say that, how can you do something so intimate with someone you don't maybe not consider a friend, or even, especially for other people, it's like, oh, or how are you so intimate with someone you're not together with?
Right.
Typically, people who do this have a much freer mindset when it comes towards to sex, so that helps. But I have noticed one thing I've noticed about lewdtubers that I did not do when I was on Twitch is that if you want to do a collab with somebody, usually they will typically ask, "Hey, can we do a hangout first?
Yeah.
Just to see how we
Vibe
vibe."
check.
That was something that did not do when I set up collabs on Twitch. Usually, we're just like, "Yeah, let's just collab." Like for like you know, for a collab, they're like, "Hey, let's set up a day where we can just talk." Like maybe for an hour or play a game together, just see how we fit. And like I like that actually a lot. It's actually I think a good practice.
It's
No,
really
because I feel like
important,
that's very important. Yeah, to especially set boundaries. If you feel like you don't vibe together, it's completely understandable if the collab has to be canceled, or if you back out or anything. Like the idea that you can back out of a collab, that is something I've also had from Twitch. In like even in my Twitch collabs, if you're suddenly feeling 5 minutes, even 5 minutes after we were supposed to meet up, and you're like, I'm so sorry, I'm usually very fine. Like, okay, fine, it's fine. If you want to reschedule, we can reschedule. If you're just not feeling it, it's okay. And that's something I've taken from both, like from Twitch and with me over on Fansly when it comes to like collabs. So I'm always like, if you're not feeling it, especially because, as we said earlier, you might have a really bad day, and if you're in a bad state of mind when you do lewd content, don't do the lewd content. So especially when it comes to collabs, you have the right to like just be like, you know what, I'm feeling really bad today. Today's not the day.
Yeah.
To this point, like I will say, when I'm doing collabs, like I generally disassociate, and I actually don't find them titillating very much or at all, because at that point I'm generally streaming myself as well. And I'm more focused on putting on a show with these lovely people
we're working.
who are also like,
we're
putting on a
working.
show with me. So I'm not thinking that like, oh, I'm being sexual with these people. It's because I'm putting on a show, and these coworkers, it's like we're like at a strip club, basically. We're all up on stage.
You're the announcer at the strip club. You're announcing the strippers coming on stage, and that's
basically.
like
It's like essentially like I'm part of the performance. Like this is not us being intimate, like for y'all. You know, it's because we're all putting on a show for you. And I think people don't quite understand that. You kind of have to be part of the industry to get that, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And sometimes
that's why the
people
vibe-
even enter the industry in order to be sexual with
Yeah.
the
Ooh.
object of their affection.
Yes. And then
and-
they realize that that's just not how it is.
Yeah,
And
'cause,
if
like,
you
even
are
if
being
you-
like that, you're probably
Oh,
gonna
sorry.
get ostracized very quickly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So your
And even if
jealousy
you-
is gonna go insane.
Yep.
And even if you get into that like collab that you wanted, like you're going to be disappointed because like when we are doing this, we are working. It's like I said when Andy Bun was on, like Andy and I when we're performing, we're not getting off at all. And like in a shoot or after a stream, we will just talk about something else. There isn't a sexual like attraction there that persists beyond our performances. Even though we think like the other is hot as fuck, it's like we're working, we're doing a thing, and then once that's accomplished, we're just besties again.
And this is not to knock anybody who gets like gratification from doing this work. If you do this work because you love the game, because you love like doing lewd stuff and being lewd, like God bless you. Like not literally God bless you.
That be yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
Goddess
go
bless
ahead. No.
Yes,
No,
exactly.
Goddess bless you.
I was gonna say because yeah, like usually I do kind of get off when I'm doing stuff, but it's not necessarily to the person. Because again, I'm very good at the anonymous fuckhole vibe, so
Right.
it doesn't need to be intimacy for me to enjoy it. It really depends on what the other person's vibe is. It's my area that I expertise in, like, but. I did mostly get into this because I just really enjoy being lewd with people, and like that's the main thing that I do when I'm doing so. I try not to fake it usually, but you know, like if you gotta do performance a bit, you know, that's fine as well.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't say I'm faking it, but it's still like there's still a boundary, or like I still have a boundary where I just don't go over that. I feel because I do enjoy I do enjoy my like. To be fair, if I did not enjoy like being sexual, I would not do this.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I do also enjoy being sexual with other people, but it's not that I think that now I can just be sexual with this other person whenever I feel like it.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah, that makes more
that's what I
sense.
mean.
Okay, that, okay, now I get it. Yes, okay, yes. Then I understand there. Yeah, no,
It
that
doesn't
I
persist
agree
longer
with.
than
It does not.
the work
Yes,
we're doing.
that okay.
Well, for
I
me-
was misunderstanding what you guys were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much a defense mechanism too. Like I understand that my position in this work and as a male streamer is very precarious, and I have to protect myself. And that's why, like, if I'm performing with people, I'm making it focused on myself and providing the best show, and less about my own gratification. Because I love women, I love porn, I love getting off, I love like
Oh yeah.
being in sexual situations. But like, I have to separate myself from that just a tiny bit to make sure that I'm being the most safest for myself when working with other people.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's
like
where-
you can't like fall in love with everybody you like you work with in this industry. It will wreck you.
Oh yeah. Like no, please don't. Like it's still a professional relationship. Like a lot of us here have partners. Like
Yeah.
you know, I would find it. I would consider it a red flag to work with someone who I felt was pushing any kind of actual relationship vibes at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Who was doing it to try to fuck me as opposed to
Putting on
making
the best
a good show.
Yeah, like I would prefer someone who's like, hey, I think it would be really good content me fucking you rather than I really want to fuck you, fuck the content. Like what? Okay.
I really want to
mean-
fuck you, and on stream is what I have to do to get there, basically.
Yeah, like
Right, yeah.
yeah. I
Because
get
people,
you.
like, especially doing this for a while, like, people can clock that energy from a month. So
Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
I've
it shuts
Yeah.
so many doors for you if you're like a thirst void, you know? It's for both, for,
Yeah.
like, men, women, like, it doesn't matter how you identify. Like,
Oh yeah, the gender
Across
is
the board.
irrelevant.
gender is irrelevant.
Oh yeah.
Thirst is thirst.
By the way, chat, the depths is typically about 2 to 2.5 hours. We're at the hour 30 mark, so if you have any questions for our panel, please continue to use Marshmallow or to put them into chat. We're having a lovely discussion so far, and we'd love to get you more into it, chat.
I feel like we got off track of our topic for this podcast.
As I said before, like, there wasn't a huge plan for this episode. I just know you guys have big personalities. So I figured just set you loose, and like whatever comes out of it, comes out of it, you know?
Yeah, it's such a great conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just
no,
let us
actually,
loose.
when you said the thing about being safe, do you feel like you're being safe for your own safety, or do you mean that you don't want to step on other people's boundaries, Etra?
Both.
Both. Yeah, both.
No.
One, I want to be able to be seen as a safe person, someone to perform with, because there are so few people who are safe to perform with in the space.
That is very true.
You have been a wonder for that, may I just say. Like, you are just like, you're the go-to guy for everybody. Like, you know, it's you just stick those slimy tentacles out and just like grab some people by the hand and brought them together, and we appreciate you. Like, you're like the safety net of this community. You're like,
I appreciate you. Thank you, Johnny. I mean,
you're the
like,
bouncer that we all go to. Like, hey, Atra, you know, this one guy's giving me weird vibes, and you're just like, I'll take care of it.
I will say to the question that's being posed above, like, I am also like Mystique on the cusp of like the IRL versus online generation. I was born in '89. I'm an '80s baby also. I was a club president in like college. Like, I was, you know, I would like organize events and collabs and things with other people. And then I shifted onto the online stuff, but I brought that mindset into the online space, and I think it's been working really well for me. If you treat people the same way you treat them IRL, like, they'll see the value and they'll hang around. They'll, you know. No, not 1999, 1989.
10 years. 10 years.
I was
Wait.
born before the fall
wait.
of the
I was
Soviet
about-
Union. Yes.
Yeah,
about to
but
say,
like,
oh.
sorry.
First Sif, then Mystique.
Oh, no, nothing. That was, I was like, wait, oh, you're almost the same age as my brother.
Okay.
That was nothing irrelevant.
I do have
Mistake,
older
go.
brother vibes, yes.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, you know, you want example of people actually becoming like IRL friends from doing this. Look at Atra and I. You know, like, we are besties and we support each other and work together all the time. It's absolutely possible, but it requires more work and more investment in each other than just like, he spoke to me a couple of times and then we were like basically married. You know, not that we're basically married, but like, you know, people think that they can talk a couple of times and be like, oh, my wife,
Yeah.
or husband, or whatever.
Yeah, online creation's a weird space because it assumes closeness that you don't really have, especially when everyone's a VTuber and everyone thinks that you have some kind of kinship from being a VTuber. You know, it's not that simple sometimes.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, one of the biggest things that I remind people, and I think I've said it several times even tonight, it's, for me, it's always, people are humans first. Like, everyone that you're interacting with are people, and you have to remember that. And I think people kind of get lost behind the fact that we're all in pretty models or avatars or whatever, and completely forget that there are humans behind them. And I think that the whole touch grass thing is, I mean, I've made some of the closest friends I've ever had online. I also have, you know, best friends in real life too, but in my brain, I don't separate them, but it's because I've taken time to talk to them. We talk on VC all the time. We're getting to know each other and our likes and our dislikes, and you're really making the effort to get to know them. Yeah, you're talking about more than work. You're talking about them as a person and not them as an avatar or content creator. You're talking about them. And I think so long as you go into this remembering that the people that you're interacting with are humans too, and continuing to treat them as humans as you would like to be treated, then, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with creating long-lasting friendships online at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
almost like you guys are besties or something.
Oh my god, besties! Oh my god, we're all gonna go out and get wine after this, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I
Yeah.
would love a fucking
It's time for
wine
us all
night.
to
We
go
can
into
get,
a poly marriage now.
Oh.
Yes.
We've
all had a
poly
conversation.
We've all had a long enough conversation. It's been an hour.
Exactly.
Actually, I do have a question prepared, kind of close to this. So, it's a bit about, again, lewd content. How do you clock if someone's getting too attached to you or your content, perhaps developing an unhealthy parasocial or attachment?
It's quite obvious.
It's usually obvious,
Yeah.
like,
They
know,
won't stop messaging you.
yeah, like constantly, or, like they sort of get it in their head that, you're eventually get this with certain, like, people, like, who are just like, I know I play this role on my content as the all you can use fucking anonymous fuckhole. But and for that period of time, I'll gladly be your personal fleshlight. But I'm not your fleshlight every hour of the fucking day, dude. Like, oh, sorry, don't go too much.
It's
into
true.
it.
It's
No,
true
no,
though.
Don't worry, I didn't use the
Really
banana term.
real.
We're good.
I was
Okay.
about to say,
Banana tip?
I have my DMs like turned off on Discord,
word.
but you can really do it on Fansly. And I have gotten, but I usually just ignore them. If they get angry, that's usually the sign. If people
Right.
start getting angry that you're not answering them in your DMs like they owe
Rejection.
you, that is just then I ignore them even more. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
When you start
Usually-
like dictating to me like fantasies about yourself and myself without my consent, then it's a little bit like, okay, well, you've kind of crossed beyond like my consent. You've crossed beyond like my boundaries. Like, well, I'm gonna do X, Y, Z with you. Well, yeah, I'm not like some anime character. I'm a person, so you are hitting level 2, level 3 parasocialism for me right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're beyond
Yeah.
the safe zone for me. I gotta pull you back or you gotta go.
Yeah.
I also
Basically, once they start to transcend my boundaries, that's when you kind of know. Because usually, people who, love your content and really respect you, they'll read your server roles. Usually, if I have open DMs with people, we recently wrote like this thing that we send them that's like, hey, I'm happy to have open DMs with you, but here are my DM rules essentially. And, people who care about respecting you will read those rules and they'll abide by them, and maybe sometimes they'll cross them, and if you talk about them, they're totally cool. But it's the people who are constantly crossing or testing those boundaries to see how far they can get are the ones that you can just tell are just getting too kind of close to you. And usually, I like I say all the time, I'm squishy. I let my moderators handle it because I'm like, I get really emotional. So I let my moderators handle it. So I think, having, again, that support system to be like, hey, this is what's going on in my DMs right now, or this is what's going on with this person. Should this be considered a red flag, or this is making me uncomfortable? Can we watch it? So you don't feel like you're being backed into a corner by that person, definitely helps. And it can kind of put things into perspective, because I'm the type of person who tries to see the good in literally everyone. And I tell my moderators that all the time. I will see the good in someone to my own fault. So having another perspective to say, hey, this is what's going on, and I don't want to make excuses for this person. What do you guys think? Is really helpful to make sure that you're keeping people accountable for protecting your boundaries.
Yeah. I definitely also rely on my mods a lot for that, because I can also, because to be fair, I don't have many boundaries, but of course I have some, but my mods are often more harsh than me, which I think is a good thing. Which is a good thing.
They usually
catch
are.
other stuff that I do not catch, which is
Yeah.
which is great. Where I'm like, I would probably have let that slide, but it's fine. It's good that you took care of it, because then it's not going to become a problem along the line. Because I would also say, again, I have my mods, and DMs closed. And I also regularly tell my chat straight to their face, both on Twitch and also I do also think I have said it on Panelists, like, guys, I'm not your girlfriend. I'm also not your friend, but you can have sex with me here in this space. It's great. Yeah. That's how it works. Yeah.
I am probably the opposite of that, where I'm not afraid to be a bit of an asshole, which is kind of another function that I perform here. Is like I'm a little bit of not an enforcer, so to speak. Although that's not my it's not a stated function, but it's one of the things that I sort of do naturally, where my husband is my head mod, but I have had a Discord server for 7 years previous to this, and he knows how I expect my community to be run. And as the head of that community, the buck stopped with me. So if there was something that my mods weren't comfortable dealing with, or something that needed to be dealt with right away, I had to step up and do that. So I will be the asshole and just say, no, you need to like fuck off now.
This is the Dom Discord, yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yes, miss.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. And another sign that people are becoming too attached, probably the primary sign for me, is that they have unreasonable expectations regarding your time and how much time and effort you should be spending on them, whether they're like messaging you all the time, whether they want free stuff, whether they're like taking up space and like constantly referencing that they're sort of attached to you in some way. Those sort of unreasonable expectations of your time and resources are like my main indicator that something has gone a little bit wrong and they need to be set straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my nickname in Yes Miss is the Sea Hag.
The sea hag.
Whoa.
Yeah, and like someone will say like, oh, we need some sea hagging here, or Mystique needs like, oh look, Mystique is sea hagging, because you know,
wow.
you have people, weirdos on the internet who will get through our application process and then start doing like out of pocket, really unsafe shit, and like that's my job to take care of, especially if my moderators can't. Like there is nobody else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
I would definitely
very
take
different.
people if I'm alone or if they're not there in a moment. I'm like, okay, you said this. Well, you're out. It's not that I can be harsh if someone really steps on my boundaries, but I'm also sometimes just like, was this really that hard? Nah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
boundary pushing
I think
is a real thing, and like it never seems to go away. People always continuously try to test your boundaries. And,
Yeah.
You know.
But the way that I'm coming... Oh, sorry.
Go for it, go.
No, you go.
I lost the thought. You're good.
I'm sorry. You can run me over with a car if you want.
Okay.
Oh, Daddy, run me over
the
the
way
car.
that I'm...
Wow.
Get in your monster truck, Daddy.
Damn.
I've got the Dom truck right here.
Dom truck. Oh, run over my
Delivering
balls,
the
Daddy.
But the way that I'm coming from it is kind of like a dungeon master or a dungeon mistress, where you are in charge of the safety of the people that are in your space in this Discord server. So if there is an inkling that someone is overstepping boundaries, you have to step in. So I think that I'm probably coming at it from the opposite end of the spectrum to you, where, you know, because it's you are like the head of the community that's looking up to you, you know, you are tolerating things against yourself, whereas I am looking down at the community and not tolerating things that might be going on towards them that I've just like transferred over to like this side of the paradigm. Did any of that make any sense?
It's
I think
It
I
does.
got it. Like, I think, as you said, we're on the two opposite spectrums, where I kind of put a lot of responsibility on my mods, and you take the responsibility back. Yeah. No, I got it. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like halfway in between. I let a lot slide because I don't have many boundaries, to be honest. And even when I'm usually willing to like give a chance or two, however, if I've come to learn to just trust my gut a little bit better than I used to do. Like, maybe
Yeah.
if I feel off about this person and I continue to feel off about them for a bit, I'm like, you know what? Maybe they're just not a good fit here. I don't know. Because like I used to question that a lot. Like, maybe I just have a wrong impression or anything. But like I've learned just to go with my gut. And my mods do pull off stuff that I, would let slide, and I usually try to support them. But it's I would say I'm half and half. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll just like pick someone out and be like, yeah, you're not passing my vibe check, buddy, and I'm just gonna yoink.
Yeah.
So, question for you,
Also,
Johnny.
Yes.
In sort of being kind of a little bit more lax and forgiving, do you ever have the concern that people in your community might be feeling unsafe or uneasy about certain people kind of just downright push?
I have had issues with that. That's why I've been a bit more willing to trust my gut on stuff. And like, I've taken it from the thing of if this is disrupting other people's fun, then it's got to go because I don't want that. And yeah, I have had issues with that where I've had to like deal with things because again, I can be forgiving. I try to give other chances, but sometimes that's not a good idea. So it is definitely a problem I worry about. It has gotten a lot better, I say. Like again, I've been doing this for a bit and I've learned a little. I've learned through experience and the hard way, who to trust and, where to focus my energy. But yeah, like that is definitely an issue. Again, remember, this is a community. It's not just you or the one person. It's everyone and how everyone's feeling. If one person's making other people uncomfortable, then that's hurting the community and that's got to stop.
Yeah.
Because as your community manager, the community lead, it's on you to make this a place where people want to be. I think that's the main goal. You want to make it a place that people want to hang out and want to do stuff in. But yeah, that's my
Very
take
well
on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and honestly, like, you don't even need to run a community of like 600 plus people to start seeing the patterns that a lot of these thirst voids adopt. It feels like a script almost. And you start being able to clock them from like miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an interesting question from Marshmallow. Have any of you had to stop someone from spending too much money?
Yes.
Yes. Regularly.
Yep.
I'm
I
looking at my
usually-
mod.
Ask them to check on them. Like on Fansly, I have not super had that problem yet. I do know a few suspiciously wealthy furries that sometimes pop in. I'm like, oh, are you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's fine, it's nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, thank you. Like I've had a few of those instances. I'm usually there were a few instances where my mods like it was like, hey, knock it the fuck off. Or this one time, my fucking partner was donating. I'm like, hey, you save that
our
money.
money.
You
That's
put
our
that
money.
money. No, you put that money in account. You need to save up, mister. You need to save up. We talked about this.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that was one time. I was like, hey. It was like, I wanted you to feel good because I want you to meet your goals. And like, I know, honey, I love you, but like, stop it. Stop
That's so
it.
cute.
So cute.
Oh, yeah, he's a
Usually I
good
try
painter.
not to police people's pockets, but if you know that somebody is talking, it's part of being really connected to your community and talking to your mods and making sure your mods are looking out for certain things. But if somebody is like, I can't afford to eat and I am not able to pay my bills, and then the next day they're in your Fansly spending hundreds and thousands of dollars, I usually will pull them aside and let them know
Yeah.
that you don't need to spend money on me to be a part of my community. You can be in my Discord and not spend a dime, and you mean a lot to me just being a community member. You don't have to spend to get me to appreciate you. I appreciate you supporting me in any way, in all of the free ways and in the ways that are monetary as well. But yeah, I've had to pull people aside and be like, please, please stop. It's not necessary. I don't want people to support me at their detriment.
It doesn't feel good to see someone tweet like the next day, like, "Oh, I can't afford to like pay my
Yeah.
I'm sending your money right back, minus fancy stuff."
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and they're often very well-meaning people. Like
Yeah.
I had a South African guy who's part of my community who was like, I'm saving up some money, and like once I've saved up, I can spoil you a little. And I was like, well, please spend that on yourself. If you're having to save up money, like little bit by little bit, because you don't have a lot of discretionary spending, don't spend that on me. I will be fine. There is other money. You spend that on yourself. And he was genuinely so moved because, like, he was expecting, a streamer or a sex worker, they must have a streak of gold digger in them, and like any money is just welcome. But
Can I
That
say
is
this
definitely
is why I
a-
love Buttplug.io? Because it gives you the vibes, the entertainment. Like, you can play the game and have your toys go off, and nobody has to give a dime.
Oh,
basically.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. It's great. I love playing
that's
those
great.
games.
I
I
say
mean, not
Civ
just
is
because I'm also a
everything.
slut. That's also
Yeah,
the reason
'cause-
why. But like,
I played Helldivers.
more chances to vibe my prostate. Of course, let's fucking go.
I mentioned that because both myself, Johnny, and Sif all use Buttplug.io.
Yes, I'm doing loot
Yes.
damage this month too.
Nice. I'm doing
Yay.
on record tomorrow.
Ooh. Wait, that has buttplug.io support?
It does using the haptics router. Yeah.
Oh,
So you hit the
yes.
thrusters and it's like zzz.
Oh my god, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Except I get motion sick.
I am sort of saving up for the fuck machine mini, and like I'm
Yeah, the
really
mini
gonna
one,
enjoy
right?
having that with buttplug.io. Like the games I'll be able to play. Like I'll have to be like, then I just have to like invest in that chair that has a hole in the bottom, then just aim it up and
Okay, yeah,
so
because I
much
was
fun
about
with
to
that.
ask, are you just gonna be bent over with the thing in your butt? Where you
I was about to say.
well,
Oh,
no,
no,
you can get ones that are chairs that go up.
Yes.
Oh
got
wait,
the
wait.
Levitz one, though.
Okay, wait. I need
Yep.
to. What?
I've
Wait,
used it
wait,
mine.
I think you need to show me what chair you're using for your.
I had to
Streams.
find one. I have a gamer
my
chair
God.
right now. I want to buy a
Okay.
chair with a hole in one. I don't have
Yeah,
one
right?
You need a
yet.
furry
No,
chair,
because I
not a
was
gamer
like,
chair.
I've been
Yeah,
like
furry
thinking about
chair.
getting a chair that fits.
I can send you one, Seth. But
Ooh.
Oh.
I've done Buck Machine gaming streams. They are impossible.
Uh,
We
Yeah.
played 7 Days to Die during a Buck
Challenge
Machine stream, and I was like,
accepted.
"Oh
I was
my
about to say,
god!"
you don't
Challenge
understand how locked
accepted.
in
Let's
I get.
go.
I don't think you understand how locked in I get when I play my game.
I don't think you understand that Johnny plays these games with a shock collar around his leg.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like oh god. Yesterday I was like, because I need to stimulate. Like I'm kind of a stimulation addict a bit. Like I will say that. Like that's sort of my thing. Like and because of again recent events, I was desperate for stimulation. So I was like, hey, you know what? Wouldn't it be funny if I shocked myself real quick? Oh yeah, one more time, one more time, one more time, one more time. Oh, let's raise up. This is not strong enough. Let's raise up to 100%. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, I
there we
watched
go.
your
That's it.
stream for a while last night.
Yeah, I was
It was
I was in a headspace. That was what I would call one of my chill streams. When like, this stream I'm not gonna be trying so much to entertain. I'm just gonna buzz my prostate and stim myself while getting
yeah,
high.
I'm just gonna like electrocute myself a bunch, just really chill.
Yeah, and if you guys enjoy it, great, awesome. If not, then I'm still enjoying myself. I think that's the thing I aim for in streams. There are streams where I decide like what's the vibe of the stream going to be, and it's based on my headspace each day. Because like some days you're not in the mood to stream, but some days you're in the mood to stream different ways, and I think that's really important. Because like is it going to be a wild, hectic, nonstop to the balls walls, getting slam fucked against the wall stream, or is it going to be more the chill? I'm going to vibe and just enjoy myself streaming. If people want to vibe with me, then great. If not, then I'm vibing for me, and like. I think like recognizing that and like adapting is one of the things that I think is really useful to like doing the content and keeping people invested. Because I think the big thing about this is consistency. Like if you want to keep people like long term, or at least attract new people or get them interested in your stream content, you got to make every stream good in its own way. But having a repeat good stream the exact same way every time is possible because you have different games, you have different like styles. So you gotta get adapt. That's why I like to test out all the games I play, even the horny ones, before I play them, so I can get a vibe.
Yeah.
What's the vibe of this? What is the vibe? What is it for? And then I have like categories, because like I have a schedule, but I don't always keep to it. Sometimes when I recognize, okay, this vibe is not today, but I still want to stream, and so I switch it up then.
Oh, that's really smart. Actually,
Yeah.
And, well, to be fair, I also do that sometimes. I'm like, but I do have like my 2 streams that are this is what I did. This is like my main content, and then everything else is always like what do I want to do, because I have my 2 ERP streams every month, and then I have everything else that I just do whatever I want.
Oh. Yeah, like I try to keep to the schedule, or like have stuff like that, where you have like a set thing you're gonna do on this time or day, and you hype yourself up for it. That's a little easier, but like when you're doing multiple streams a week, because like I stream on Fancy, I think a bit more than most. Well, I stream on 3 weeks minimum. Sometimes I do an extra one here and there, because I'm all on Fancy now. I kind of decided to take a hiatus from Twitch for a few months, because I'm just like I was just not having as much fun there anymore. And I've been just really enjoying content on Fansly, finding new fun ways to make horny stuff. I actually have something I need to talk to Atra about, because I'm working on, because again, a project where I'm trying to like.
I thought you were going to say a prostate.
I mean, a prostate. Well, both. The answer is yes.
Well, listen,
I'm working on a prostate.
Checked, yes. Continue.
But yes, I'm working on find a way to like. Because this is like a new way to bring people in, because that's what I love to do with the horny content. I like finding new ways to integrate VTubing with it. And like I have my grinder redeem, where chat can send me a message and they get like a chat GPT grinder message back, on screen. I got things like that. But I also want to like, I've been learning visual novel stuff, and I've been like, what if there was a way you could do like visual novels on stream? You could have like your set characters, set locations, and you could just write it up in like a day, put it in a program, and then it would just create the visual novel scene on your stream.
Like on Twine.
Oh.
Yeah, like on Twine, but like you would have characters and moving around, because you can do a lot with OBS. OBS is a lot of filters, programs, and Sammy stuff. And so I've been like, what if I could do that? And I'm like, I'm working on a prototype for it, and I'm excited for it, because like you can have all kinds of sexy scenes. Like you could do roleplay stuff like that. Like for example, I want to do like a roleplay stream with Papa Welsh, where like he's a sexy lumberjack and I'm his pup slave that he's training.
Oh, that would be
woods.
amazing. I
And
love
like
Welsh so much.
I have like basically the little paper cutouts you see in visual novels. One of me is pup and one of him is a lumberjack. And I have like the text dialogue all across the screen. And like that way, every goal could be unlock scene 1, unlock scene 2, unlock scene 3.
That'd be so.
That's so cool.
And then, like, because I'm an artist and I can draw, power of art, I can make the sexy scenes myself.
That's so smart.
And so I could do cool roleplay streams like that. And that's the thing. That's a project I want to do. Yeah, I want to do more stuff like that. I want to do like, because I think it's a new thing you can bring in VTubing in with Fansly.
Absolutely. Holy shit.
Yeah. And like, so I have ideas like I want to bring like, I think that's like my collab goal. I'm like, hey, I want to collab with you and I want to make it a visual novel. And I'm like,
You're honestly such an inspiration, Johnny. Like, your creativity knows no bounds.
Oh, thank you. It's all because of penis. Like, I say it's not just because like I
award, like I would like to thank cock.
Thank cock every day. It is
Dick and
weird.
prostate, thank you so much.
I know.
Damn.
Mention the balls. Yeah, you suck the balls, please. You gotta like, you gotta don't
Gotta
just
get into
gotta
nuts.
pay attention to all of them. But it's weird. Like horniness is weirdly one of the few things that can naturally tame my ADHD. So I think it's why it allows me to think so creatively. Like,
Nice.
as like, I'm horny, I'm able to focus. That's why I like to draw porn and stuff, because I don't get as bored as easily. I take meds for my ADHD, but like I think it's important to find natural ways to tame it as well. Like a mix, because if you can't rely purely on meds to be it, because like that's a boost, but I don't think it purely solves.
It's also
things.
a crutch.
it is a bit of a crutch. Like I don't know if it's like the worst crutch to have, but
No,
I
but
do.
I'm agreeing that like you need other ways to manage it other than just medication.
Yes, yeah, that's I think my big problem with how we handle ADHD and other like certain issues
Neurospicy.
here.
Neurodivergence, yeah.
We just neurodivergence. Like we just medicate it and say that's it. Like we should have programs to like help find ways to help naturally manage it. You know, like
And ways to adapt to
meditation
allow
or
people to think differently.
exactly. But we don't do that because that would require effort, and you know, there's less money. There's no money in that. You can make plenty of money off pills. I'm sorry. Let's not go into a discussion on healthcare. I'll get upset.
We might
Sorry,
have to,
sorry.
given recent
I
events. We have to
sidetracked
talk
it.
about like healthcare and like sort of like coping with the absolute collapse. That, I'm not gonna do all this.
Yeah.
Well,
That
that's
seems like
another
a whole- that
podcast.
seems like- yeah, I was about to say that sounds like another podcast.
No, it's
Yes.
gonna have to happen at some point. Where we're gonna have to talk. About,
2 more hours, everybody. Let's go.
I was about to
Let's
say
go.
that sounds like a podcast that could use some bussing. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, it's gonna happen. Like I think we're gonna have to do a podcast about like safety and safeguarding, and protecting your like everything in a hostile environment. Because even today, a lot of people's PayPal's got taken down. A lot of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
YouTubers' PayPal's got taken out today. So it's very iffy out there. It's iffy even before major changes happen in the United States, but it's iffy like all the time for like, people in our life.
Yep.
Yeah, because like it's dumb the way a lot of this shit works. Because it's very much like it's just demeaning to sex work. Because like sex work is a huge industry, but somehow it's constantly like
Yeah.
being treated as if though it's somehow
And one
Especially
that
by the
most
people
of them
who consume
use.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, they consume it. They just denigrate the people
they
providing the
denigrate to
service.
do it, and they're
Yeah.
like, and they do it under the guise of we're trying to help. You're trying to help by like removing my income. How is that? How does that help me exactly? It's like the war on drugs or the Nordic model. How they have fundamentally proven that they do not work and they make things worse for people. But it feels like these people, the projects are less. They don't want to help people. They just want
Control.
sort of.
Yeah, it is. It is about
Yeah.
control and cruelty.
Because like like it's been proven like how to help a person with drug addiction, an actual like medical issue. Because if you're addicted to drugs, I'm sorry, but the Bible and petting a horse isn't going to cure you. Your brain has been rewired to be addicted to this substance.
Yep.
What people in like some countries that like Denmark and other places realize, okay, we'll put you in a center where we will give you small dose of the drug, enough to keep you from going into like fucking shocks, and help you get a job, get like yourself like under control, and find like a way to like make you functional. Like you might never be free of this thing, but you can at least be functional with it, and that has proven
Basic
to actually work
compassion.
infinitely better. But no, that's like because compassion is weakness. That's how so many countries view it, and like no, that's being soft on crime, and like
So
oh god.
what Johnny is describing is called harm reduction. I've worked in harm reduction for the last 10 years actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we do needle exchanges, we do drug outpatient rehab, methadone, so on. Because you're not going to get anyone to get off drugs culture. You have to also like provide for the basic needs before you can even begin to address the root of addiction. So housing, food.
It's not a moral
Yes.
weakness. It is like usually people who are in pain who got onto a substance that unfortunately rewires your brain, and you can't undo that. I'm sorry, but like that's happened. You need to fucking and like it's just like people treat you. Just need to fucking have moral character and Jesus, and fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Oh god damn. Sorry, I didn't mean to get all political too.
No, you are allowed to get political on here. Everyone knows my views are, and as I've said, I've worked 10 years in harm reduction, HIV/AIDS prevention, homelessness. So like, if anyone has any counter opinions, go fuck yourself. So
Also, Johnny, is that chain what I think it is?
Oh yeah, it's my nipple chain.
Nice. Well, you
me
can't
just,
show it now, obviously, but I was just,
Let me see. Yeah. Here, let
Oh,
me show
you
you.
can?
There you go. Yeah, just take it. I got
yeah,
the nipple
they're
chain,
mass
everything.
presenting, but also banana,
Oh,
banana,
oh.
Banana. Oh, sorry.
No, you're okay.
Oh, I didn't know if that was too much. Oh, right. Twitch is weird about nipples.
I
No, it's okay. I got you, man. Here. There we go.
There we go. Thank you. Oh my god.
So
Alright,
if people who like anthropomorphic animals are furries and lizards are scalies, are slimes jigglies?
I love that. Yeah, it is now. You're all jigglies. Oh
yeah,
god, you
people
love.
jellos.
You just love the jiggles, the jellos, the. Oh my god, like the creamies, the gooeys,
The creamies.
the creamies and gooeys.
the
I love
goopies,
Ava's gloopers.
gloopers. Oh, glooper booper.
Chat says we're jellies. Okay, yes, that does make
We're jellies. Oh, you're also jelly. Damn.
So I think that is the end of the prepared questions that I had. I guess the one final thing I'd want to ask you all before we go into doing some plugs is...
Not that kind, Johnny. Not that kind.
Oh, damn.
Banana.
Oh, I thought we were plugging together. Okay, fine.
I guess my question would be, like, what is one thing about making lewd content and trying to be engaging that surprised you? What is something that sort of like took fire and like you'd never thought was going to be popular but actually is?
I guess I can go first. I never thought I always knew I was a very sex-driven person, but I never thought that I would enjoy performing or I would enjoy performing sexually. Like, and I mean, I always had like fantasies about being like, a stripper or things like that when I was in college and stuff. But I grew up in a very conservative household. And like, so it took a lot to get up the hang-ups, like the mental hang-ups that were put in my head about homosexuality, sex, and all that. Like, I often tell the story to people that the first time I gave a blowjob, I cried, and like, well, not during the blowjob, but after. But
Yeah.
like now, I'm a free range slut. It was like, fuck it, come on my. I mean, wait, sorry, no, went too far. Almost went too far.
Banana.
Banana. Almost went too far. But yeah, like, and so I have felt very freeing doing this. I really think that if life had just been a little different, sex work like would have been my calling in life. Like in many
Yeah.
ways, it still feels like it.
Mhm.
But
That's
I'm
valid.
just
Yeah,
really
valid.
glad that I have found an outlet for that people are enjoying, and I've been able to bring the other skills that I learned in interim of that, the technical skills and the gaming skills and the other stuff that I had, and they've melded together so well. Like I've been able to bring my tech expertise, my gaming love, and just my general vibe to being a horny slut, and the fact that they've melded together so well and they just feel so right is a true breath of fresh air for me, and that's why I love doing this content so much.
That's really lovely, honestly. I do identify with that too. Like, I never thought I'd be here. I never thought like this is something I could do, and in another life, it might be my calling. Honestly, it's so goddamn fun.
Yep.
Same here. What surprised me was that people would pay me for custom content,
Yes.
and that people like enjoy my voice as well. Because I always didn't like my voice. I thought it was very brassy. I thought I sounded like a brass monkey or a wrong donkey. But people like it, and
You have a lovely voice.
oh, thank
You have a
you.
great voice.
You sound great.
It's like a donkey, but wrong.
Okay.
No. No. No.
And yeah, that really blew my mind and has boosted my confidence a lot. It's like people are willing to pay me money to talk dirty to them because they like my voice. That was a big thing for me.
I suppose for me, I knew this obviously being an adult, but I underestimated how emotionally starved people are, and When I went into doing like the soft dom content, I'm obviously very lovey-dovey and very soft, and we have like relaxation streams, and we have, a lot of streams where we just talk, and I let people vent, and I give them advice, and it gets very kind of emotional and lovey-dovey and squishy, and I didn't realize like how we could have a stream that's like super horny, a lot of stuff's going on. And then a couple minutes later, we'll all like be sobbing because we're all like, sharing. We're like, sharing with each other, and people are feeling seen, and people are feeling appreciated and loved. Because again, with everything I do, human first. So I'm treating them the way that they've never really been treated, and even though they're, on a lewd site looking to have some fun, a lot of times they find a lot more than just, a good time. They're actually being seen for their kinks and their fetishes, and they're being seen as people. And I underestimated how powerful that was in the content that I create, because it's really what keeps people around in my community, and what some people don't even care about the lewd stuff, and they come around just to hear me talk or get some advice, or hear that somebody cares about how their day is going, because some people literally go an entire week without somebody asking them how their day was going. So that it really surprised me, because I thought, the most successful aspect would be the lewd stuff, but really the most successful part is treating people like people.
The intimacy and tenderness, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's for me. Well, I also have a little bit about my voice mystique, so that's definitely also a thing that surprised me. But aside from that, I think I actually have quite a lot of boundaries on my streams, which I was also quite nervous about would hinder me when I started, especially because I don't do control links at all and stuff. But again, people are like, I was very surprised about how like willing people are to engage, and especially because my content also actually focuses a lot on group ERP, so that like I also encourage viewers to interact with each other a lot in my streams. So it's not just about me, but it's also about my community. And of course, the consent is important. So of course you have to ask people. That's the thing I usually say, is that you have to ask someone if you want to engage with them in ERP while we're doing it. But yeah, but that I was really surprised about how many people were actually like that aspect of what I do on my streams when I do those kind of streams. So that was really surprising to me, and I'm very happy that people want to do it. So like that's one thing that I've taken and definitely made it part of my content. And yeah.
Absolutely, Sif. Like that's a great way of putting it. To answer the question from Marshmallow, it's sort of the sequitur question about the arachnophobia mode in Monster Hunter Wilds. I didn't think I'd need it until I actually played it, and then I saw the bugs, and I thought they were very gross. And I guess I do have some latent arachnophobia, so next time I'll be toggling the slimes on. Yes.
Oh, is that what the slime is?
Oh, is that what they are?
Yeah, so they're actually like an insect. They're not really a spider per se. They're like an overgrown ant. And they grab your hunter, and like they put their legs all over you. It's kind of nasty. Honestly.
Hot. Oh my god, hot.
Well, I don't mind, but...
Oh, do they got that ovipositor? Oh, baby, yeah, stick me.
Oh my god, let's go.
Fill me with those eggs, let's go. Stuff me with eggs.
I'm sorry, Atra. We're just gonna be over here while you're just over there with your slimes. Well,
yeah.
Oh, you can just let Johnny at it.
Yeah,
I know. Just I choose you.
Immediately just bum rushes the side, like, oh, take me. Oh no, I've fallen and I can't get up. Face down, ass up. What a silly position. Wiggles butt. Oh no.
Just throwing him at the monsters by some Pokeball anal beads, just like swinging him around like a slingshot.
Monster
I
just
mean,
leaves.
I am
Yes.
obsessed with Pokemon anal beads. Like, I just love I've been trying to find some like IRL because I
I'm
just
sure
find
you
the
can find
idea
them on Etsy.
so funny. Like,
Oh, yeah.
because all the sexy Pokemon I just bring out, like Nidoking, I choose you. It would be like
Mhm.
that one meme, like the guy's like, son, when you talk about the Pokemon you've been catching, what about it? This one is just straight up man. No, he has a tail. That's
has
the
a
anal
tail.
beads. Yeah, like
actually,
it's
actually, on a
Like,
serious
that's not a
note,
champ.
Reverie.
That's just some buff dude.
Actually, on a serious note, Reverie, also, like, I was also impressed about the amount of people who are willing to engage with non-lewd or, like, actual lewd content on the platform. Because, like, I do no love in stream sometimes.
Mhm.
And people still come around just to hang because it's comfy. Like, I literally called them comfy streams where it's with a U instead of an O. But yeah, people, it
Aw.
doesn't necessarily have to
Aw, it's
revolve about
cute.
me.
It's like they like you or something.
Yeah.
It's like you're awesome.
It's like you're entertaining.
But yeah, no, it's definitely like, yeah, we're still doing something lewd normally, like playing a lewd game or drawing lewd art. But it's not about me being moaning all the time, and people still come around just to hang, which is very nice.
It's funny. I also do a thing like I call aftercare after like my streams where I have this comfy setup where we just watch cooking or food videos with like comfy music in the background, just chill or talk or drink like wines or mimosas and just like I like it. It's a nice comfy thing.
That's
Yeah.
a lovely
Good.
after stream ritual.
Yeah.
Drop after a loot stream is.
Mm.
I don't get it as much as I
Yeah.
used to, but I definitely have that sort of come down after it, so to speak.
Oh yeah. Like it's nice to just drop like that, and just chill and let
Yeah.
and just lie because I have like one of these chairs that turns basically into a bed, and I'm just like
Oh,
just
I'm
gonna
so
get my
jealous.
pillow and blankie, and I just like I'm just gonna sit here and watch food
I'm just in a bed.
videos. Yeah, I'm just in a bed. I'm just ready now to like.
Oh no, I'm literally in a
snuggle.
bed.
Oh,
Oh,
good
you
for
are in a
you.
bed when
Mystique
you
is
do when
chronically
you're.
ill in streams from bed.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. I have an
Oh.
adaptive rig that my husband built me that like swings monitors over my bed. So
That is so cool.
Oh,
That is
that's
so cool.
cool.
yeah, it's made of hardwood that we couldn't cut, so it's ridiculously big. I call it my trebuchet.
Oh.
and yeah, it's basically this big over-engineered wooden arm that a chartered engineer friend of Fuzzy's designed for us, and yeah, it swings my monitors over my bed. I've got like a lap tray with my keyboard and a big desk pad for my mouse next to me, because I'm bedbound like 90% of the time.
Oh.
Yeah, so I only go outside like a few times a year. So when people are like, "Oh, go touch grass," I'd be like, well, "If I would, I could."
Oh.
Mm.
And
That's
yet
why you have to be
Mystique
nice to
finds a way
people.
to co-host this podcast, make her own model, and
That's
be
Oh, that's amazing.
customs.
that's awesome.
Incredible.
Holy
Oh,
nuts.
thank you.
Aw.
Damn, Mystique, you like fucking badass.
Oh, thank you.
You
Yeah,
don't need to
so-
touch grass. You kicking ass.
Exactly. So this has been the Devs Podcast, episode 43. No Nut November, Nonstop Nut November, etc., etc.
We
hope
barely
that-
talked about that.
We barely talked about nutting.
We had
We need a
one
little
question
nut
about that, and
nutting.
that was it.
Kinda did. But yeah, I hope that if you're watching this, you do sort of like, if this is for Spotify and YouTube, like you do have a better understanding of like what it is to goon, to sort of like really enjoy your content. For, like,
I had the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing about hypno stuff and like other things
you
and
have all that
weed and other
prepared?
using in it, and like we never got.
Oh.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I was about to say, oh, humor in sex work is also a thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. God,
Oh,
we need to do a episode on humor in sex work.
Yeah, it's so
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
important. We can laugh together.
we can
And
laugh.
just humor
Yeah.
in
Laugh at
sex
something
in general.
together.
Like people who
Yeah.
take sex all seriously and get like really upset if you laugh or crack a joke, or if something goes wrong and you just like laugh it off and want to continue. Like, don't fuck
Yeah.
with those people.
Yeah, I make
Yeah.
puns when jerking it. So.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
No, because
dad puns. Fuck.
When I do ERP, I will sometimes, of course, like break because I'm not a professional actor, and neither is the chat. So of course, sometimes some funny interactions will occur, and you just can't stop laughing. It's like
Yeah,
people
like,
are writing
that's true.
super shit, and it's super
I'm-
funny.
I was doing one with another lewd content creator, and we got onto like putting on old lady voices
Oh my god.
Yes,
for like
let's
15 minutes.
Oh, yes, you
my
like jerking
God.
that penis, sonny boy?
Oh god. It went up
Oh
inside.
my god.
Oh god. It went inside. It's gone.
Don't you dare come, you fuck bag!
Like,
Ugh.
yeah.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Well, yeah, no, that's probably might be a topic for another loop podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry for derailing.
I need that as a soundboard clip.
Oh my god.
Don't you dare come, you fuck bag is so crazy.
Granny RP when? Oh god. I'll color my hair grey. We'll do a stream.
Tell you what, everyone here, we do have the depths after dark. At some point, can happen as well on Fantasy.
Ooh.
If you guys are interested, we could talk
I'm
more
interested.
details afterward.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
We can
I'd love
sort of
to.
free the beast, so to speak, over on.
Then I can go really deep into the hypno crazy stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Wait, isn't Hypno against Fantasy Steel?
Yes.
I use that more for my personal gooning. I don't do that on stream.
Gotcha.
But like,
Yeah.
we're
On
talking about
Fansly, you have to
gooning.
call it meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I understand why it's in the TOS. Definitely.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
like you
but-
don't want people.
If
You
Yeah.
don't want people hypnoing you and do a findom pay pig. You know.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
It's, you have to call it guided meditation, basically.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but you can still post the content. You can still post the like
Ooh, you wanna
different
send me
years
fire.
and like.
Ooh.
Yeah, 'cause I definitely, my
Oh.
content definitely tread the line sometimes because yeah, I do like that kind of content
Mhm.
as well. So yeah.
I like hypno personally. I use it a lot, like a self-guided hypno a lot when I'm doing gooning sessions, especially with weed and other things. Actually, that's one thing I want to discuss: the use of alcohol and weed and other things while doing gooning and like stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no, like,
Like-
I can last like 3 times as long. Like a little bit of whiskey in me. That's my secret.
Oh, same. It's like
That's
lets you push back your limits.
smart.
Like I've only been able to achieve anal orgasms while high off my ass. Because like that's the only way I can push it. Yeah, push myself. Like
So
that's
you
why
have to
I like
be off your ass in order to come from
Yeah.
it.
exactly.
Do you put it somewhere, or like, do you have a holster? What's the situation?
Oh, there's a whole like sling, in my
He
apartment.
puts it up against he just hangs it up on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Just hanging up against the wall right by my pup mask. Oh my god.
I don't know what platform we can possibly do that discussion on. Like,
Oh god, I don't know.
Yeah, no idea. Maybe that's a
Ooh.
Discord only thing. I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
talk about it. But yeah, this has been the Depths Podcast, episode 43. Know that November. Keep people engaged with your content. I want to thank our lovely creators today for sharing their approaches to content creation and being very personal with us, honestly. It's been a very great discussion. Chat, you've also been incredibly active and helpful with discussion as well. Hey, I'm thanking you for that as well. I'm going to give our panelists an opportunity to do some plugs and tell us what they have going on, starting with Johnny.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So I'm Johnny Jellyjaw. I stream on Fansly 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays usually. I stream very hardcore horny games. I stream butt plug IO games. I recently figured out how to combine crowd control with Fansly, so get ready to see a lot more of
Oh
that.
my god,
Yes.
you can do
Yes.
that now. That's
Yep,
awesome.
you can do that. It requires you a Streamlabs Plus subscription, so you got to pay like 19 a month. But
I don't
for
have
crowd
Streamlabs.
control, though, like I'd say it pays for itself pretty quick.
Yeah.
But actually, there is a guide how to do it on Atra's channel for people who are in the Cleared for Fancy section. If you look under Share Your Stuff, you can find it there. But yes, I'm going to be doing some of that. I have that visual novel stuff planned I'm talking about, and I'm hoping to do a... we're still scheduling the date, but I'm planning on doing a role-playing collab with Papa Welsh soon. I'm looking forward to that a lot. And
Papa
yeah.
Welsh,
Yes.
friend of the podcast.
Yes. He is a very large, a very rough, very big man. I thought he was a rhino when I first saw him. I was like, wait, you're not a rhino? I don't know why.
No,
I
he's
just
a brick
imagine.
shit house. That's what he is.
He is a brick shit house. He really is. Damn. But yes.
I might be meeting him when I go up to my parents in the new year.
Oh wow, really?
I'm looking forward to it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I will be at MFF if anybody is there. So that is
What?
mostly my plans. MFF, Midwest Fur Fest.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a
MFF.
MFF, the furry
no.
con. It's one of the biggest furry
Oh.
cons.
FFF.
MFF.
Yeah, so if you need your server rebooted during that time, no one will be available.
There will be no tech support across the
There will be
Midwest.
No,
the IT
none.
department's off during that weekend.
Yeah, no. IP department's got the programming socks on, and I will be very much indisposed, but yes,
Indisposed, but very disposable, right?
I will be. Let's just say this: I will be happy but sore. Happy but sore. No,
Help.
that's the plan. Well,
Johnny.
Mister, I like to make dad jokes while jerking off. Yeah, that was too much for you.
Banana. No, Johnny, for real, like you are such a creative, amazing force and such an inspiration. And honestly, thank you for always being your most authentic self. You are the
thank you.
man. Yeah,
Took a lot of work to get there, but I'm glad I finally did.
absolutely.
So are
buddy.
we. Glad that you did. I mean,
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. No,
I'm
thank
glad
you.
for you.
you. I'm glad. No, I'm glad that you guys are glad. It really does
glad
mean a
you're
lot that you
glad.
guys like who I am. I'm glad you're glad.
No, I'm glad you're glad.
Fuck you. I swear
No,
to
fuck
God,
you.
I
Next
trust-
up is Sif.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You know what?
Sif,
you
what
know
you got going on?
Oh, fuck.
Cancelled.
It's me?
No,
No,
this
I'm
fucker
not.
right here.
Fuck. No. Well, there's gonna be some fucking soon, and I mean, fuck, I've gone. I can't remember what I'm supposed to be
Are
saying.
you streaming after this, Sif?
No, I'm not. I'm going to
What's
bed.
streaming? What's Twitch? I don't know what that is. Who am I? Who are you people?
It's the middle of the night for Sif, by the way.
Yeah, it's 5 a.m. It's great.
Oh, good morning.
Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna say. Wait, what did you actually say, Johnny? Did you introduce yourself again too?
So I introduce myself and I let people know
Okay,
when I
you know what?
stream and
Okay,
what I'm
great.
doing.
Great. Hi everyone, I'm LewdSquirrelSif. I do a lot of different content. I normally do ERP content, gaming content, collabs. I have my next ERP stream is soon. It's this Sunday. It's gonna be super fun. I have no idea what I'm doing yet, but if you have any ideas, I'm always open for recommendations. Also, I'm setting up a big sussy Among Us collab this month on the 19th, and also maybe some of the new people that I met tonight might be interested. I know Atra is joining
My hotel room, yes.
from your hotel room, yay! And other than that, yeah, I like being lewd. I like being especially this November. You know, you need to help me not starve. I need all the nuts inside of me. Yeah. So yeah. So,
Oh,
is
you survive off nut too?
yeah,
oh my
survive
God.
of nut too. Well, look at me.
As
Don't
a
you see
slime,
my
I need
ponytail?
pure protein to survive. I'm afraid there's
Sif,
only
are you
one
in
way.
the EU?
Yeah,
Ah,
I'm Danish.
I didn't know you were
Sif is
Danish.
from Denmark, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, that's so cool. I could tell the accent, but like I didn't know where you were.
No. I'm a Danish squirrel, and yeah. I stream in the night mostly, actually, which is pretty inconvenient, but it also makes me most like safe. Like I normally start at 11 p.m. like on my time, 11 to 12 p.m. my time, both because I don't want to be a nuisance to my neighbors, and I also don't have a curtain in my room, so I actually prefer doing it in the middle of the night so that people are asleep and don't look at me. Well, sometimes it's hot, people looking at me,
can't
but
fathom not having a curtain in your room.
like sometimes it's like hard, but I've also like had mornings where like I streamed on Twitch, not fancy, where I literally had like people cleaning windows outside of me. Man, I'm sitting here in like no pants, maybe not even a shirt, maybe just bra, and I'm like, oh, there's a person right there. Hi.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I prefer doing it in the evening and in the middle of the night. Also because most of my viewers are American, so yeah.
Same.
Well, Sif, you
Now
are
you
a
know.
force of nature. You are doing incredible work with everything that you're doing. You're a lovely person. And frankly, it's been a joy to talk.
Oh my god, thank you. You're amazing too, Etra.
Next up, Reverie, what you got going on?
Hi, I am GoddessReverie. I stream on Fansly and on Chatterbait. I should be having a stream tonight, a Bug Machine Party stream.
Nice.
Monday is my birthday, and it's the beginning of a yearly event that I run called the Super Cum Show. So that is
Wait,
happening.
what's it called?
It's called the Super Cum Show.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm just playing.
So that starts on Monday, and the next Monday after that, I'll be having a collab stream with Nefarious Now. We'll be doing an aftercare stream where I'll be talking about the importance of aftercare and also receiving aftercare after having a very, very active week, hopefully next week. I'm also running something that I do called Nurture Fest. It's a series of charities that I do. We did one for Pride Month, and we're doing one this month with Feeding America. And my goal is to try to feed 20,000 people. So I have a link that I've been giving out. I have it on my Twitter, where $1 equals 10 meals. So I'm doing that this month and next month. Hopefully we'll get to the goal for that. And I'm also going to be starting another Fansly account called Sweet Reveries, where I'll be reading erotica and scripts and things like that. And I'm actually using one of Atra's scripts for that.
Glad to hear that.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's what's going on with me this month.
Reverie, you are genuinely so impressive. Like I can see, like you've started only recently, but like you have worked so hard. See that, and like
Thank you.
that professional approach that you have to make this serve you with absolute.
I appreciate
talk
that.
to you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being here.
Absolutely. Last but not least, Lady Mystique. Any plugs for us?
Hey everyone, I'm Lady Mystique. I am mainly on Fansly. I don't stream very often due to my disability, so I mainly make pre-recorded content and picture sets in VR. You can find a video of Welsh in Atra's body with Atra voicing going to town on me in front of a mirror, currently posted, which has been getting very good comments. And yeah, I'm on Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky, Fansly, Lady Mystique or Lady_Mystique on all of them. And you can find all my links on ladymystique.tv. Thank you, Tay. Thank you for posting it. I love you, darling.
Thank you, as always, Mystique, for being my co-host for this podcast, and especially doing it 2 days in a row, because we went yesterday too. It's unprecedented for us. This podcast would not be possible without you backing me up, and I appreciate you so much, Mystique.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate you too.
Yeah. And I've
Big
been your
time.
host, Atramentum_X, where I streamer and LewdTuber. You can find all my links at atramentum.inc. That's atramentum.ink. Don't forget to like and subscribe, both here on Spotify and YouTube. The next episode of The Depths will be in a few weeks because I will be going on hiatus for a little bit. But once we come back, we will still be talking about all the things that matter to sex workers in this country and around the world, because now more than ever, we need to have these discussions. So I'm going to leave you off. I do not have a teaser for the next episode, so I'm going to play for you the teaser for this episode. Have a lovely night and be safe out there.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.